Good morning, afternoon, and evening all, and welcome to round one of the Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship and season 4 of Artito Racing. The season brings with it a lot of changes, and one of which is evident here. Welcome to In the VC, the pre-race show that discusses all the race news and events taking place in the virtual paddock. I'm Kendrick Garlic, and joining me in the VC is Kendrick. And Kendrick, a lot has changed between season 3 and the beginning of season 4.
Yeah, I've witnessed so many changes throughout the previous seasons of Artito Racing, and I'm glad to see that season 4 is there's a lot of radical changes. Starting off which the broadcast which we were doing previously on the Sunday races as well.
Yep, so we now have every single race, or at least hopefully every single race,
Hopefully.
given conditions and certain things happening outside of sim. But the intention is to have every single race be broadcasted live for everyone viewing. So that will include people within the Artito server, and if drivers want to share the stream with their fellow friends and loved ones to be able to watch. I know G has already shared the stream with his significant other, I think fiance, but I'm not entirely certain.
Yep.
And they've already watched the race. So the hope is that drivers will be able to show to their compatriot, their friends and their loved ones and their significant others, so on, their racing and hopefully their victories and successes.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually quite above that you're showing to your loved one and friends that yet you're competing. It definitely boosts your morale.
Certainly, you have the and a bit of a known support behind you as you're racing, maybe give you
Exactly.
that extra edge against your competitors.
Not gonna lie, I've experienced it myself when I was competing on the Le Mans. You guys were backing me, and yeah, definitely have a lot of faith in the car, knowing that I have to finish first for everyone.
Well, you certainly did quite well in that race, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the mistakes that I made, I think it's well deserved first place for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, alongside this broadcast and preview show as well, we have a couple new introductions to Artito Racing. So we have, I believe, 8 new drivers joining the league for the first time.
Mm-hmm. There are
So
some
some of
new.
those involve Josh Mitchell. We have Galaxy, who's going to be a um, reserve driver. We also have Morbitron. He's going to be another one. And what other ones do we have? A lot of them are Australian, I've noticed. Gutsy as well is actually another one. This is his first full time competing in a full Tito race season. But alongside that, and something that is actually quite interesting, we have fully developed teams for the first time.
Yeah, there were. I mean, it's amazing that some of them are have joined against one another to form teams, and hopefully a good constructors fight this season. I'm quite excited for that one as well.
Yes, certainly. And we have 6 teams this season. So the teams that are going to be competing are Yakutori Racing, consisting of our current reigning champion Ballista and his Japanese compatriot Felipe Sato. We have Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing, which consists of the unreal Jamaican himself, Rohei Robinson, and Scoob. We have Kame Kame Racing, which consists of Turbolobe and Raven the Swords. We have Soteria Racing, consisting of Lake Bun and Josh Mitchell. We have Brabham Racing, or Brabham Boys, consisting of Gutsy and Morbitron. And we have Choo Choo Racing, consisting of Zeth and Gordon.
You
We
did
also
save the
have,
best for last.
yes, certainly the best for last. Choo Choo Racing, of course, indication of, I don't know, the driver's own belief in their defensive capabilities. I think it's the kindest way to put it.
um, from the name itself, Choo Choo, we're expecting them to make a whole bunch of train.
Yes, well, we know Gordon is known for his defensive driving capabilities. He
Yeah,
has showed that off on multiple instances.
yes, I have actually experienced that myself as well.
I
It's
have as well.
yeah, it's difficult to pass him, you know. He certainly
It is.
gets you hooked on his pace. It's like an
There's,
anchor.
there's something hypnotizing about his driving style.
Exactly. It's like he's forcing you to follow his line instead.
Yep, it is quite impressive, his defensive driving capability.
Mm-hmm.
But we have as well some, I guess, not really privateer teams, but individual teams that are going to be racing with their own livery. One of which is Nova Yakutori Racing. That's going to be driven by Rai, and Rai's just by himself. Beforehand, he was a reserve driver for Yakutori Racing. For those who would have watched the broadcast, the pre-season race, sorry, at Fuji. Rai was with Yakutori Racing alongside his Japanese compatriots, but he's decided to race by himself full time. It's come to our attention that he's able to race more races than he was expecting, so it's always nice to see another addition on track. We also have Raj, G, Felix, and Pipewell. They all have their respective unique liveries. Raj in particular, sorry, not Raj in particular. They all have their respective liveries, and so they don't strictly have an official team name per se, but in spirit, they're their own individual team.
Yeah, I mean, I would call them privateers, to be
Privateers.
honest. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah. And so, who would you consider like the factory teams then, like Mystery Gang and Yakutori?
I'm, I, I would consider them factory teams since they're the one who has a full-fledged team running this
Mhm.
season. Those are the ones who's fighting for the constructors, while the
Yep.
individuals are just fighting for drivers' championship.
Fair enough. Honestly, quite an apt assessment. And something mentioning Mystery Gang. Actually, you might have noticed that I actually stated Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing. Now, for those who watched the pre-season race at Fuji, you would have been informed that there was a Mercedes livery inspired Mercedes-inspired livery. Sorry. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that to work with the GUID, so Verhey just raced in what looked to be more of a McLaren livery. I think Flying Sam pointed that out. He might join us later, actually. But there's been an update towards Mystery Gang's livery, so it's now officially Mystery Gang Rebel Racing. They have a Red Bull livery, Red Bull inspired livery. And I have had a look at it, and it's quite nice, really.
Yeah,
The numbers have changed as well. I believe Scoob is running number 33, and Rojo running number 11.
definitely inspired by the real Red Bull Racing. I'm guessing that Rohe will be like Checo, you know, class driving, very sweet on the tires, and overall a very great defensive driver. Is that a hint of what's coming with them?
Possibly. Well, we know Rohe has the capability to defend under pressure. We saw that in previous F3 Sundays. He was able to defend against Ballista, at least for a couple laps.
Yeah,
And considering the pace difference in that, it's certainly um, quite representative of his defensive capability. Maybe he's been taking notes from Gordon. But Scoob, I still honestly think is a bit of an unknown. Scoob, of course, hasn't raced in as many F3s as Rohe,
yes.
but he has had the one lap pace. I believe he was second in the practice sessions over the week overall. I'm not quite certain if that's the case at the moment, but I know he's certainly up there.
I mean, I think he's one of the drivers who got up to 144 on this track. So yeah,
Mhm.
that is indicative of his what you said, his one lap pace. But I think he's also a proven driver as well. He's fast than what we expected him to be, especially with the Formula 3 cars.
Certainly. A driver though that has been a little bit off the pace, I think is fair to say, and is hoping to be able to pick up the pace soon is Toberlob in
Mm-hmm.
the F3.
Yes.
Of course, we know Tobe has very strong capability in pretty much any car that he's been given. For those new to the racing would know that he raced IRL in karts at a national level at Norway, ended up winning the championship, and then raced in GT cars for a little bit before moving to Japan, where he sim races to this day. Um, he has been the champion of the MX5 class in season 2 of Artito Racing. I believe you came second in that one, Kenjake, I think.
Yeah, I think yeah, I did took second place. No, sorry, third. I took third.
Ah, the G takes second.
Yes.
Ah,
I don't know, I might be wrong.
but
I don't remember it anymore. It's
it's a
only
long
been a
time ago.
while. No, it's just this year, right?
It was this year, actually, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it goes to show my memory then. But yeah, I think I did fairly well on that championship. I did gain
Mm.
my well, quote unquote pro driver role, pro am
Yeah,
driver role. Sorry.
pro-am driver, yep. You certainly proved that you had racing capability among the rest of the pack.
Yes.
Um, But Tobe's performance doesn't stop at just the MX5 class in Season 2. Of course, in Season 3, he ended up getting a race victory as well as finishing second in the championship overall. And
Yes.
he's now considered the pro Artito driver. So he's one of the top 5 fastest regular drivers on the server within the league. Of course, that role is going to be up for grabs in the latter stage in the championship, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The top 5 finishers will be receiving that role within the Discord as a bit of a celebration of capable drivers. But considering his pace in the Fuji race, it's something that's lacking. I think you'd have to agree, Ken Jake.
Yes, there's something is he's really not in tune with the car yet up till now, but he'll get there eventually. I think it's just a late bloomer.
Mm. Well, it is hopefully the case. But as I said earlier, Raven has joined with Tobe in Kame Racing. That was a recent development, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Happened just earlier this week. Raven decided to join forces with Tobe Loeb to become a fully fledged constructor for the team championship.
Yes.
That livery was done by you,
Yes,
Kenjake, if I'm not
yes, I
mistaken.
did. There was a
Uh,
small signature of it as well in front of the cockpit.
oh, how to get your own stylized version of it. But I have had a look at it. It's actually really well done,
Yeah, thank you very
incredibly so.
much. It was my first time
Uh,
making a serious delivery as well.
It's really well done. You should start doing commissions, I reckon.
Yeah, if I have a PayPal account, maybe I know, I would consider it.
Well, something that I was trying to like lead to anyway was that with Raven joining Kame Kame,
Yeah.
she has had pace beforehand. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't broadcast the race, unfortunately, but we ran a secondary long distance race at Imola. She had quite good pace, actually. It's one I raced in. Um, and she was able to keep with some of the top runners, the likes of Vohei, G, Sado to an extent. Miko, she was battling with Miko for quite a bit in the opening laps, but her downfall was her consistency. Um, and the question I have for you, Kendrick, is: do you think that that potential pace that we've seen from Raven is that going to be able to bleed in towards her teammate and hopefully bring up Kame Kame Racing towards the pointy end of the grid?
I mean, hopefully it does. I don't want to jinx any of it, but she certainly has the determination to improve a lot in the car. He's really she is really giving everything just to improve her pace overall and her as well as trying to adapt her driving style for the car.
Mm. Something of interest actually there, and I wonder if that's a similar case with Tobe, with Ravenseye. I remember talking to Tobe during the Imola race, and he opted not to use traction control. And I ended up looking at Raven's setup a little later on, and that didn't have traction control either. So I wonder if the car or the F3 car suffers from not having that TC enabled for the driver.
Oh, I don't know how to answer that question yes as of now, but I'm one of those drivers who use traction control for this, but I use minimal
Mm,
because it does for me it does give you a significant advantage putting the power down earlier without causing it to slide a lot even on the most minimal setting that you can have. I think it's all it's all down to the drivers actually on how they drive their machines.
mm. I'd be interested to find out how the faster guys are using track control, the likes of Sato, Ballista, Raj, um, Bohe even. Like, I wonder if it is theoretically faster to have traction control off, or if it's better to have that little bit of assistance so you're not constantly having to fight with the car every single um, corner.
Well, for sure it's going to affect your consistency, but I don't really know how to answer it on overall pace.
Mm. But that is about halfway through the show, and I'll ask you one final question before we look at the hot lap. Hopefully, that's all
Yep.
ready on your side. Of course, we have the Constructors' Championship at play. We've got 6 full teams. I'll run through them again. So we have Yakitori Racing with Ballista and Sato, Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing with Rohei and Scoob, Kamekame Racing with Tobalib and Raven, Soteria Racing with Lakeman and Josh Mitchell, Raven Boys with Gusty and Morbitron, and Choo Choo Racing with Zeth and Gordon. Now, course, I think that's a little bit of a favorite at play for the Constructors this season. Uh, I want to ask you, where do you think the rest of the teams are going to sort of fall in?
Ooh, that's you're basically making me predict things here, but
Yeah, it's a large question, certainly.
yeah, I I don't know. I think I'm not I'm not qualified to answer that question as of now because
Mm,
certainly I don't know how the I like we know who the drivers are and what they're up against, and we saw a lot of these drivers have the capabilities to win races or as well go to the podiums, but with the F3 it's mixing things up actually with the drivers. We're seeing
yeah.
some of them bloom into to race winners, into consistent finishers and stuff like that, while some of the faster guys that we knew uh are sometimes slower. You know, it's
Mm,
very hard to predict. So yeah, I cannot answer that question for you as of now.
yeah, fair enough, honestly. Maybe with more time we'll be able to figure it out, but I'm going to
Hopefully.
I'm going to put my predictor's reputation on the line here and say that Soteria Racing is going to be a surprising dark horse.
They're more than a dark horse, to be honest. Like, there's some Mercedes-Benz vibes with them already.
Of course, Soteria Racing consisting of Lake Bun and Josh Mitchell. Lake Bun has raced in Formula 3 Sundays beforehand. We have seen his pace. But I recall at one point at the preseason test race at Fuji, I can't remember which race exactly, whether it was race 1 or race 2. But Lake Bun was like within a stone's throw of a podium. And he
Mm-hmm.
certainly has the capability to be able to push his way up to the front. Josh Mitchell is, of course, a new driver, the Australian. And there's a little bit of a question mark over that as to where his pace is and how that's going to fall. But I reckon if Lake Bun can sort of coax Josh and give him the coaching he needs to be able to wrangle this F3 car around the 8 circuits that we're going to be playing host to this season of Artito Racing, then I do think that Satira Racing will be able to match the likes of Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing and maybe even Brabham Racing as well. And I think
Yeah.
Brabham and Soteria are already starting to form a natural rivalry between those two teams and 4 drivers.
One thing's for sure, because I'm really thinking about that the Mystery Gang will be some sort of underdog in this season.
Mm.
I really think that yeah, I really think that they can bring the fight. Well, hopefully for a second or third spot. Because
Yeah.
my mind is already solidified with Yakitori Racing towards winning the constructions, because the driver lineup as well is, they're already good. They're already decent. They're already the most, well, like I could say, the most drivers that you want in a team.
Yeah, they're certainly very dominant, the 2 Japanese drivers there. But of course, we will have the reverse races as well, and that's going to add a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of a element of
Well, hopefully it
mystery
does.
towards each round. Yeah, um, and that will give some of the other teams a chance to be able to score points, and testing the drivers' ability to make the critical decisions when they count, and to take the calculated risk in certain situations in order to score the points necessary.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well,
But
yeah,
with about 9-ish minutes left,
yeah, nine
uh,
minutes left. Let's head.
yeah, some of the drivers are starting to join the server at the moment for practice, and I think you have a hot lap prep for us.
Yes, we do. And bear with me for a sec while I try to load it.
Not a problem. So, of course, we'll be in Germany for round 1 at the Hockenheimring. This track consists of 16 corners, 10 to the right and 6 to the left.
First time that we're going to run Hockenheim as well.
Yes, first time. I think it's the second track that we've run in Germany. We ran the Nürburgring at season 1, I believe, in the Kronos GT3 cars. So the drivers aren't particularly not accustomed to a German track before, but of course we haven't ran Hockenheim in any official race beforehand, either within a full season or a sanctioned race. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers adapt towards this new challenge. But of course, the history of Hockenheim is incredibly vast, so vast that I haven't actually been able to condense it all in time. But of course, the track has played host to a number of German Grand Prix. It's played host to endurance racing, DTM as well. It's taken on multiple different iterations within its sorted past. Of course, it was the track that infamously took Jim Clark's life in an F2 race. That section of the track, of course, being turned into a national park. But you were saying saying to me off air, Ken Jake, like this track has gone through so many changes throughout its history.
Yes, that is true. It has gone through a lot. So much so that it's far different to what it's seen before. So here we go. I pulled up the hot lap now, and we should be able to yeah, show it now.
Excellent. So let's take you through a lap of Hockenheim. We're approaching this main straight here, and you're going to be heading towards, I believe it's about 75 is when you want to start braking. Oh, I don't know what a brake's are. Clearly, I don't know what I'm on about. But it's trying to get as much speed through Nord Curve T1 through here. Now, I've talked towards the race admins, and that line that you're taking, Kendrick, strictly speaking, that's not meant to be allowed. I believe once you hit the Fly Emirates sponsorship, with either of your wheels, that's considered an invalid lap. But beyond that, sorry, within those boundaries, I believe it's a valid okay lap. The balanced car, finding 6th gear. Heading towards the hairpin now, you want to brake about towards the 100 or so because you're carrying a lot of speed. It's one of the fastest sections of the track. This will obviously be an opportune time to overtake. Getting to second, hovering about 100 kilometers per hour. And this corner, of course, is going to open up quite nicely towards the turn 3 and then turn 4. You want to try and use much of the track as possible in order to reduce the amount of strain that you're going to have on the tires, as well as being able to carry as much speed as possible. And you can see Ken Drake there going up towards 160 before even leaving the apex, and top of third gear going towards 4th as we go towards the back straight now. Drivers open DRS here. And of course there'll be a lot of slipstream involved going down this long straight known as parabolic car in towards the turn 6 hairpin.
Yeah,
Finding a
braking
braking
hard.
point just before the 100, braking very hard, pretty much full brake here. Car's obviously going to be under a lot of load as you're decelerating towards 2nd gear. Now even first you take gear, so towards about 70 or so kilometers per hour. So this is, I think, the slowest point of the track. There's no camber to help you here. It's quite flat. You're decelerating towards 180-degree hairpin, and you're trying to hit the apex nice and tightly and get a nice, clean, smooth exit towards turn 7.
Full lock as well on that corner.
Yeah, complete full lock. So that could possibly be a place of a lot of crashes, unfortunately.
A lot of overtaking maneuvers would be seen there.
Yep. Turn 7 is pretty much flat there. Heading in towards turn 8. This is the Mercedes Stadium section. You're braking at about that light there. This corner is kind of awkward, honestly.
Yeah, very much.
It's a little bit off camber, not enough to be able to try and change your driving style enough, but you are going to notice the car being unsettled. You're taking about 2nd gear here, around 100 kilometers per hour. And the corner, it somewhat opens up, but at the same time, it doesn't. It'll open up initially and then close off again in towards turn 9. And this corner here, you want to try and get onto the left-hand side of the track as fast as possible, be able to get on the power as soon as possible, to be able to square up turn 10 here on towards the long straight here. But you can see this is pretty much flat out through these cars. There's not any throttle control that you have to deal with. And drivers, of course, will be considering that in their setup. Not only in the huge long straights that we've seen already, and the corners where the car's going to be under a lot of load, and they're going to be needing both the mechanical and the aerodynamic grip. Heading in towards turn 11 here. Now, I've seen a lot of drivers, and you've done the same here, use as much of the left-hand side of the track as possible here. Keeping in 5th gear, this is a bit of a dance on the accelerator here. You want to try and grab as much of the curb as possible, and then use all the curb on the outside to try and carry all the speed that you possibly can. If you get this correct and the driver in front of you does not, this can certainly open up an opportunity to go for an overtake in towards turn 12 at a sash curve.
Infamous turn 12, especially for Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, this is not a corner that Sebastian Vettel fans are particularly fond of. Whether we'll see something like that in today's proceedings is yet to be seen. But turn 12 here, it's 2nd corner gear. You have a lot of camber within this corner.
Yeah,
I have noticed drivers utilize that camber quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't think the camera on the onboard doesn't give justice to how much camber this corner is.
But notice on the onboards of the drivers, and you kind of do this here, Kendrick. There's a bit of a rubbed patch on the middle lane of the corner. I've noticed a lot of drivers, at least the Yakitori drivers anyway, using that middle lane more so than towards the inside of the corner. So it'll be interesting to see where the different driving philosophies between the teams and the drivers start to form. As soon as you can throughout coming out of turn 12 into turn 13 and 14. These are pretty much non-corners, so you're just flat throughout. You do want to be able to get this nice and tidy. This sets up well for turn 15, because turn 15 and 16, it's quite easy to lose a lot of time, but it's very difficult to gain time, more specifically.
Yeah,
you can see there.
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Kendrick. You can see there that getting that apex is quite difficult, and if you go wide, as perfectly demonstrated, those curbs are right there to unsettle the car quite impolitely, I reckon. But you can see, hopefully, we'll be able to square off that corner for turn 16. Stud curve, literally south corner. This is the most southern point of the track. Germans and their efficiency, I reckon. But you get on the power as soon as you can, activate DRS just across here. Going up into 5th gear just about now or so. And that is a lap of the Hockenheimring.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to correct you right here. This wasn't my lap at all. This was Scooby's lap, so I'm very sorry, Scooby.
Scoob's lap.
Yeah, so I did took it from Scoob because I was going to. My plan is just to take the hot lap from different drivers each race. So yeah.
I couldn't tell because the livery was just completely white.
Yeah, I don't know why it's white. So yeah. Well, before we go, we're just going to show you the full hot lap here.
And there we go.
There we go. That concludes the full hot lap of the track. So yeah.
And that concludes the previous show in VC. When we return, we'll be transitioning to our full race broadcast, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. There's simply nothing like it. That heart in your mouth, adrenaline through your veins type feeling. The most dramatic of highs and the most crushing of lows, all to the choir of man and machine pushed to its limit. This is action. This is emotion. This is Artito Racing Formula 3. And 6 red lights, and away we go! You can see a big crash going up into Rouge. The first time he'll go for a move on the inside, and Lissa has a late braking, but he won't have the inside line capacity to Sano. What a great move. He'll go towards the inside as well.
Oh, Rory!
The secret assassin, the Iron Will Jamaican.
Last move.
So he's gonna go. Miko sits right, Raj goes left.
Miko goes defensive.
Last late breakers here, and Raj is able to make it on the second to last corner. He makes it stick. Housed within the Rhine Valley lies a piece of tarmac consisting of 16 corners turned to the right and 6 to the left that today will play host to the German Grand Prix. Welcome everyone to round 1 of the Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship here at the Hockenheimring for the beginning of Season 4 of Artito Racing, and what excitement there is for this season. 30 drivers have registered for this season, representing 14 nations from 5 continents across the globe, who will battle it out to be the Artito Racing Champion. Will we see the 4-time from our reigning champion Ballista, or the new force take on the Japanese domination? 6 teams will also compete for a team championship, with rivalries set to form across the grid. And taking you through every practice, qualifying, and race this season will be myself, Kindred Garlic, and my fellow commentator Kendrick. And Kendrick, I have to ask, how excited are you for the
I'm actually filled with so much excitement and emotion for we're currently starting our 4th season in Artito Racing, and as I said in the pre-race show that some radical changes have been. There's a lot of changes that spice things up now, considering we have people fighting for Constructors Championship as well.
Yeah. Constructors Championship, custom liveries, new drivers, a whole lot of changes. And that season will officially begin within the hour or so. Currently we have 25 and a half minutes left in practice. Once we finish that, we'll then lead into a 15-minute qualifying session that will decide the grid for race 1. A full reverse grid race will then follow for race 2, with non-stop excitement expected throughout today's proceedings. Both races will be 16 laps. Now drivers will be running 3 different tyre compounds, the soft, medium and hard, with the medium and hard most likely to be used considering practice. Drivers will also have to refuel at least once to make it home, so expect to see strategy play out in both races today. So with all that said, get a snack, a drink, get comfy, and get ready. This is Artito Racing Formula 3, round 1 at Germany.
So yeah, there's so much things to say in this season now. Yes, 6 teams, right? 6 teams fighting for constructors, and many new drivers, which hopefully continues and finishes the season.
Certainly, and all those 6 teams are already starting to get at each other's not throats per se, but there's already rivalries developing. What I've noticed within the Discord is that drivers are very protective of their setups, where before there was a lot more camaraderie between the drivers with their respective setups. Now there's very much a bit of a fog of war over them, and each team are now having to work together, experience with setups or not, to be able to try and figure out what changes works to make the car go as fast as possible.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of competition now, which previously we didn't see because drivers were much more open back then, and some of them were keen to help each other out to improve their feel for the car.
Certainly, and there's also going to be, alongside the protectiveness of setups, there's also going to be the teammate factor that's going to be playing a role. Whether we'll see different drivers start to position themselves as first driver or second driver as the championship starts to develop, or what's the story? That'll certainly have an impact on how the team championships are going to play out.
Exactly. They'll be supporting their fellow teammates, and especially the ones who's in the title hunt. So yeah, I think we're going to expect a lot of much more hard racing that will be produced from the team system that we have now.
Certainly. And at the moment, we've got about 23 minutes of practice left or so. Currently, the race, the running order is actually looking particularly interesting. We have Sato at top of the moment with the 24.5. He's the only driver so far this session to break into the 24s. We then have, officially, we have Gusty. Unfortunately, the graphic there is a little incorrect. In P2, we have Gusty for Brabham Racing. He's leading the way for the Australian team. P3, we have Scoob for Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing. P4 is Rohei. P5 is Raven for Kame Racing, so she's certainly broken out quite well for herself.
Yeah,
P6 is Ballista. Oh, you were saying?
I think she's getting to know the car better now.
Yeah, certainly. P6 is Ballista. P7 is Lake Button. 8 is G. 9 is Miko, who we haven't talked about a whole lot. P10 is Pipewell. P11 is Gordon. And then from there, we start to have the no times. P12 is Neil Mendoza. P13 is Sendra. And then from that point onwards, we have Rai, Zeth, and Josh Mitchell. We're expecting to see Morbitron for Brabham Boys and Tobalobe for Kame Racing later in the day. Unfortunately, Raj is unable to race today, so we won't be seeing him. But we may see Felix, who hasn't made a race appearance yet in any full officially sanctioned F3 races for Artito Racing yet. So hopefully we'll be able to see him as the championship progresses.
Yeah, hopefully. So
you can just see on your screen there the livery of the Brabham Boys. I believe that is number 13. It is Gutsy.
Yes.
Man, it's a really nice looking livery, I have to say.
Yeah, the colors. I mean, I'm very sorry because I'm partially colorblind, to be honest with you. Some of the colors are just blending on my eyes. Can't really appreciate it that much.
Yeah. Well, for the non-colorblind of us here, the very nice green and gold livery, of course, inspired by the car manufacturer Brabham.
Yeah.
Of course, a bit of a Australian national treasure, and as a result, both the drivers, Gusty and Morbitron, are flying the flag for Australia. They are two of, I believe, 5 or 6 Australian drivers in this league this season, making the most dominant nationality in the entire of the Artito Racing Season 4.
How about that?
I can see you've just flicked to your own creation there.
Yeah.
Jake, want you some screen time?
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've actually seen the car on track, and I gotta say it's so colorful.
Yeah, it's very vibrant.
Yeah, and the color splatter as well. The paint splatter looks really nice on the sun.
But of course, that is Raven with Swords livery, the American driver, the only American driver on the grid for this season. Oh, getting it all sideways there for the odd curve.
Yeah, a bit feisty.
But of course, yep, that livery made by Kenjake, inspired by Tobalobe's own creation for Kame Racing. And you might just be able to see, and I think Kenjake's wanting to show it, you can just see his icon and signature there, just on the bottom.
What's an artwork without the signature of the creator, right?
Of course. It's a very well done livery, I must say.
Thank you very much. Wow, wow. Oh, big oopsie there as she hits the wall, but yep, went straight into the pits again.
The luxuries of sim racing.
Exactly. Just teleport to the pits whenever you can, just not to hurt other drivers' times on running a track.
Yep. But as the minutes start to turn down, we'll have a race briefing within about 4 minutes or so time. Drivers are starting to pile in towards the VC. Tobalobe is also joining the service, so Kame Racing will have both drivers today, thankfully. But you can just see Sato at the moment. He's currently leading the way for not just Ekotori Racing, but as well the grid entirely. You can see he's certainly pushing to find every single 10th on the track. But we haven't quite seen Melissa's full pace yet. I think this is to be expected from previous broadcasts.
Yeah.
Melissa seemed to sandbag a little bit during the practice sessions, but lets it all out in qualifying and somehow finds 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets his pace whenever it's qualifying time. It seems like when we don't see it on camera, he might be cutting some corners there.
Possibly.
Possibly, but yeah, no. Ballista is a serious talent here, and we know that he can probably get a second or two more in the track once he unveils his true pace for everybody else to see.
And one of the mods were here just asking for people to join the VT briefing. I've just been told by Zeth, the server is going to restart at the start of the race brief again. So we will have a little bit of a lull in the action on track, but we will be able to take you towards the race brief, so you'll be able to hear what all drivers are going to say. And by the looks of it, I might be doing the race brief because our race director isn't here.
Congratulations.
Excellent. Doing multiple jobs this week.
Yep. So yeah, I think should we head over to the general?
Yeah, we'll head over. Race brief starts in about 2 minutes or so we'll see that in a second. Very quiet.
Guys, you are now live.
Don't get us banned.
Server will restart.
Alright.
Yeah, restart now.
Excellent. If Sam doesn't get here in the next 30 seconds, I'll do his job.
Again, guys, I will repeat, you guys are now live and aired on YouTube.
Making it sound like a court scene. Anything you say can and will be used again.
You have the right to remain silent.
That's rude.
There. Tell it to the judge then.
Yo, Roy, can you see my message?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay, thanks.
Oh shit. I have to do it on my phone because I ended
Yes.
all processes.
1 minute late. Not bad. 1 minute late.
Oh,
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
there's the race director.
Just a minute late. I was away. I rushed to get home in time.
Did you
Oh,
fly?
fucking hell.
Did you fly a plane to get to your home? Just crash it directly?
No, I went to gym with my friend, and then I had to run some errands. And
Zed,
yeah,
do I need
Cool.
to change the time?
We can just manually restart the server in game.
Garlic, you're a
In
fucking legend.
skip session.
Okay.
Nice.
Fucking legend. All right, everyone here. Let me do an attendance check. Scooby, Scooby, there's MotoGP on in like 15 minutes.
I
I'm gonna, like,
know.
I'm gonna watch-
Miss it.
I'm gonna watch both side by side.
No way, I'm gonna bonus. What's it side by
Dude,
side?
oh my god.
You have to make a decision, Scoop.
I really
priority.
really hope that Fabio can do something with that shit bike.
Nah, I hope Alex can do something about it.
Espargaro, yeah. The Aprilia has really like dropped off. I feel like in the first half of the season, the Aprilia was the best bike, but right now, I feel like the Ducatis have just got another level.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, where's the attendance? There we go.
Server has been restarted.
Thank you.
Oh, is this gonna
That's
be
why
a...
I couldn't read. That's why I couldn't join.
Is
No,
this...
hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Polka. Is Polka here?
No.
No.
Okay. Bad boy. Tom?
Yes.
Tom's here. Good boy. Scooby's here. Sandra is here.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yep.
Ken Jake, of course.
Present.
James.
Present.
Another
James.
naughty boy. Another naughty boy. Raven here. Josh here.
Yeah, man.
ALF.
What is the voice reveal?
Hey, wait. Where's my good boy? What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't call you a good boy.
Man, I feel attacked.
Kinda
Yeah.
sus, but sure, kinda sus. ALF, I don't know who that is. Ariel Yap, naughty boy. Little Assassin,
He's dead.
naughty
He's
boy.
tentative.
Lot
He's
of
gone.
naughty boys.
Dude,
Zed's
he's
here.
gone.
Garlic's here, and although he pressed decline, nice. Sato's here, nice.
Nice.
G's here. Wait, am I looking at the right one?
I don't think you
Oh,
are.
no, okay, sorry. Okay, Rob's here, Tom's here, Pipewell's
Race
here.
director.
Pipes. Oh yeah, he's here. Good. Sato is here. Gutsy's here. Yep, here. Zed's
Gutsy
here.
here.
Raven's here. Miko's here. Leg Bun is here. I think I saw his name. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he's here.
Ballista's here. Rye. is here.
Hey,
Nice.
make
Yeah.
him say
Josh is here.
present.
Scooby's here.
You
Neil.
want Melissa to say present.
Neil. Can't see Neil.
Mendoza is definitely here. I saw him.
Okay.
He's not in chat though.
Yup. I don't
Hey,
know
Jack?
who is Yup.
We want to
Okay.
hear Melissa's voice.
Yeah. Give him a
voice is
5-second penalty if he didn't talk.
It's extortion.
Second place.
Gordon. I think Melissa sometimes talks on his
Stream.
stream. Yeah.
I've never heard him
Little-
speak.
Make him
Little
You should look at his Twitch.
Yeah.
force him to say present.
I just love watching his Twitch during the second race. Almost listening to like Japanese porn music while he's passing everybody effortlessly.
Japanese porn music.
Yeah, that's literally what it sounds like.
We hear your
Oh,
viewing
yeah.
patterns then?
So I think we have 9 minutes remaining, so let's just start.
Oh, we got plenty
Yeah.
of time. We no rush. All right. Well, I'm not gonna read your briefing word for word, but thanks for making it. Welcome, guys. Race 1 of this new league. Seems very popular. Hopefully, you all can, you all enjoy it and are here almost on a weekly basis. If you can, that'll be great. And yeah, I mean, look, if F3 really takes off, there's chances are we can do F3 again next season. But obviously, premature to say that. But we'll see how it goes because based on the Sunday races we've done prior and the attendance on the first race, it seems quite popular. And I believe open wheelers generally are not very popular on a set of courses. So this league can kind of help us grow even more. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So I think it's our first time. No, not I think. Definitely it's our first time visited Hockenheim. Great track, as you know, in Germany.
I hate this track.
260. Mate, if you hate this track, just leave. It's a great track.
Got a bad afternoon.
216 lap races. Second one obviously is in reverse grid. Rohe, am I right in saying that it's a full reverse grid, not top 15?
Yeah, full reverse.
Oh, there you
Yeah, full
go.
reverse.
Oh shit! So I
Takes
can
the
place
spice
last
up.
and come first.
So whoever's starting, I don't know how many people are here, but yeah, it's that's great. All right, T1 track limits. During qualifying, there will be invalidated laps if you go 2 wheels into the green. The green
Sorry, that's wrong. That's incorrect. It's the red.
red. Yeah,
Fly
okay. So
Emirates
it's kind of like
sponsor.
yeah. Yes, and then no cut penalties during the round. Investigated post race. Yeah. So apparently, there is a problem with the penalty system. However, if we find someone continuously abusing track limits, especially if any of you do see someone constantly exceeding track limits at turn one is the main one. Off the last corner is another one. The corner before you enter the stadium section, the one you take probably in 4th or 5th gear, that's also a corner you can extend. Those are the 3 ones I will be monitoring. And I want you guys as drivers as well to monitor it closely. And if you do see someone abusing them, please report it because obviously that's gaining an lasting and unfair advantage. Just because, the mod doesn't punish it, we shouldn't let people off the hook. T1 is a bottleneck, absolutely, which is what Garlic's written, especially Hockenheim turn 1, because it's not a big braking zone. It is very fast. like I don't know what gear it is in an F3 car, but in an F1 car, you're doing that in sixth gear. It's a very fast corner, not a big braking sense. So do not try making audacious lunges. But knowing you guys, it doesn't matter what I say. You guys will probably still go for it anyway. So
Only race start. Only race start. We need to
yeah,
take it
yeah,
easy.
yeah. It's a very tricky turn one. Like guys, don't try and rush the overtake at turn one because there's a great opportunity to pass into turn two, which is the next hairpin, and then after the long back straight, there's another hairpin at turn four. Those are two great overtaking spots. Like if you can stay close enough to turn one,
Yeah,
don't try and
that's
rush
where
the
you
move.
want to go 4 wide.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to rush the move at turn one. Set it up for turn two and turn four. So yes, and as we saw, Fuji lap one was an absolute mess. Let's try and avoid that, please. We can't win the race in the first corner, but you can lose it. We say it again and again. Don't do it. And I'm pretty sure it's not just our league. Every league's the same. And look, if I was a driver still racing, I'd probably try and be making moves into turn one as well. But look,
And
just
to
go for it
discourage
if you
that
know.
100%
Look,
damage.
all right, guys. Yes, that, and also remember, this is what I'm going to say. If you commit to a move, just go 100% all in. Don't be 50-50. Don't lunge down the inside and then halfway through the move decide you want to bail. Just go for, even if you know you're going to crash, just do it, because when you hesitate, that's when you make the wrong moves, and you might unwillingly rather crash into someone. So just go for it, even if you know it's not going to work out well, because that's more predictable than you just deciding last minute not to go for the move. This is what I've noticed when I used to be a bit of a hothead when I used to race, not on a setup, but on the F1 when I started committing to big lunges, 100%, it was a lot better than me doing it half-hearted and having a lot of incidents. But just go for it. Yeah, don't change your mind last second. And yeah, hairpin as well. I don't agree with what Garlic said. Like, you can go for a dive bomb, but it has to be a respectable dive bomb. Don't dive like 50 meters back or something. And okay, you can dive 50 meters back, but just make sure on exit you leave a car width to the curb and a bit. I don't want you to push somebody off. So that's one thing I'll be looking at is you can go for a dive bomb. But if you cannot give the car you're diving a car width on exit, that will be either you give up the place straight away and I won't penalize you, but if you gain a lasting advantage and keep the spot, I will penalize you by 5 seconds if you fall. And illegal DRS usage. DRS can only be activated when the ACRL DRS is green, otherwise don't activate. Yep. Illegal activations are logged, and there will be a post-race penalty, and that will be at the discretion of me, TK, and the rest of the moderators based on how much time you gain. Lake Bun, I just saw your message, and no, we can't cut them on. Try and make sure we've got 2 wheels on the green.
Can I also add something to
Not on the
the
green, rather.
brief?
Yes. Hurry up! I want to watch MotoGP. Thanks. Go on.
Well, something to take note, please, is whenever we restart, I know that the timer is buggy once the virtual safety car ends. Please try your best to to keep it safe so we won't have multiple restarts in the race.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a virtual safety car anymore.
No,
Really
no
not.
VC.
It should be automatic restart instead.
Okay.
If more than 8 people crash.
Okay,
in
so
30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
we
the only that I want. Like around 8 people crashing or 10 people crashing, then maybe we can restart.
how about the safety car? We don't have any safety car?
No.
Okay.
No. Because the whole point of a safety car, like who was it that brought this point up on the? Well, it was Tob. Tob was the point that brought this point up. The whole point of a safety car, IRL, is to clean up the track. In a set of Corsa, you don't have to worry about anyone cleaning up the track. If you crash out, you're out the race straight away. So there's no need for a safety car. In an oval, you still need it because in an oval, 30 seconds, whatever it is, you probably won't have enough time to avoid it. So their safety cars make sense. But on like most tracks we go to are like 90-second lap times on average. Plenty of time for the person to retire, even if there's a big crash. So yeah, we don't need a safety. And it's one sec. Sorry. Let me just finish what I was saying. And the problem with safety car is you need to like coordinate with everyone, make sure they're on voice chat and they can hear you, stuff like that. And we saw when we did NASCAR for a few races that it was a hassle because some people are not on voice chat and they're going at 200 miles per hour while the others are doing 50. And yeah, it causes a mess, so that's why.
So
Simon,
can
sorry.
I
Yeah.
join
go
or
on.
no?
Yeah,
Can I
I
join?
think there's enough spots, right? I don't know how many
okay,
people are in
Do I
there.
have time? Do I have time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how.
start qualifying.
Are there enough spots available? I'm not watching, or I can't see.
There
How
is.
do I-
Spots available.
There's a couple
How do I
more.
join?
Okay, yeah, you can join.
I think there's like
It's,
one spot.
Wait,
Two
how do I
spots,
join?
actually.
Where do I go?
I give you my
Is
role.
it-
I gave you a role now for the lead driver. You can see the F3 password on the channels.
Okay. F3
Yep.
password and Hockenheimring. Oh,
Do you have the assets?
9. No.
I have.
download it.
I
Yeah, the
never.
play go well.
Simon, I
Yeah.
don't think you have the DRS app.
Yeah, you'll need the ACRL DRS or you'll get checksum.
Can someone help them get it?
DRS app. It's right there. I'm
Yep.
getting it. Is the
Come
track
on.
very hard? Because I haven't practiced it.
Nah, it's
Oh.
alright. Hockenheim's alright.
It flows.
But if you are not familiar with the track, just make sure you don't go for audacious dive bombs, please. Learn on the go, but be considerate.
Who
Which
said they
race
weren't
is
going to
this?
show up?
Wait, which race is this on the championship? The first one?
One.
This is
Yeah.
the first
Yes.
one, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because then I actually kind of want it. Okay, I think I downloaded it now.
Cool.
Where's the link? Calendar?
Yep, track me.
Oh wait, I have
To be the race
Okay,
is
so about the
starting. My
race, sign.
heart is fucking beating so fast right now.
Why?
Now I'm watching MotoGP.
Is that pretty much it about the race briefing?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's all, guys.
Okay,
Already
so
Oh, yeah, by the
3
way-
o'clock
When's
The link-
DRS? Where are the DRS zones?
on the long straight.
On the long straight? Oh.
Yeah.
Long straight and
Oh,
fun straight.
guys, be careful.
Come on,
Where's the
Fabio.
Can I say something?
Whoa, take it easy.
Wait, where's the link to join?
Server 20.
Oh my god, Dad.
Okay.
Regarding DRS in the first zone, zone 1, if you notice, there are 2 activation times. One before the corner and
fuck?
one after. Now, we found out that if you activate it twice, it will actually give you a penalty.
Hello.
So, please activate it once it's green, either before the corner or after, not twice.
I'm sorry, but I can't join it. Server 20 says 404 not found.
Really?
We go with the
Yeah.
mods.
Can someone just send me the link?
Scooby.
Somebody help the guy out.
I think
I
Josh.
give me a second.
Scooby, Pecco is already second from 9th.
Can't you just switch it in the CM on the Artito?
Should be able to.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I should just
Artito
search
20
CM?
should be there.
Yeah, because originally server 20 is hidden to public.
Yeah, I can't join.
Why?
Do you have
I
the
just
password?
need someone. Can someone just send me the link?
You should be able to join either way because it's password protected is the thing.
I know, but I can't find the server. Just send me the link.
Have you
Oh,
pressed on the missing? Have you made sure you can see missing servers?
That could be it.
someone just send the link.
Yeah. Please.
Send the
Wait,
link in private demo or something.
Do we have links somewhere? Is that posted?
Okay, I need the Mercedes. Shit. Where do I get it?
Oh,
safety
yeah,
cars.
it's going to be too late.
It's on
Where?
the server, right?
It's in the description of the server.
Anyway, practice ends in 10 seconds.
To download all those files and get ready, I think it's
We
going
can
to
go
be
away in the voice chat now, right?
Yep, you can go if you want.
Alright, see ya.
Good luck,
Garlic,
don't
invite me
crash
to
your
the
life.
commentary.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll be in broadcast.
Alright, heading over to broadcast now, Garlic. So there you go, driver's briefing alongside with the race director. So Mr. Race Director, Glad to have you with us once again in the broadcast channel.
I know. I was not expecting to be here today, so it's great to be. I couldn't miss the first race, especially at a track we've never been to before. So it's great to be here to commentate this, and I think it's going to be an absolute thrilling race. We haven't had such a turnout in a long time. I'm confident in saying we haven't had a turnout like this since the first few races of season one. So yes, very keen to see how this goes.
What do you think about having Constructors Championship?
I think it's really great. Like, it adds a new element. And like I said, I don't think a lot of leagues out there are doing open wheels, and especially having Constructors Championship. We have Constructors Championships and we've got independent drivers as well. So it's going to be very fascinating to see if some of the independent drivers can actually perform better than some constructors over a season. So, yes, great. It's great.
And I think the question on everyone's lips: who do you think will win the constructors and the championship itself?
I think when I look at the Constructors' Championship, it is very hard to look past Yakitori Racing. They've got two insanely fast drivers. I feel the Mystery Gang, is that what the team's called? With Scooby and
the Red Bull,
Rohei, that they can be real dark horses. Whether they can beat Yakitori Racing, that remains to be seen. But Rohei, as we know, is very good with these cars, and Scooby has been showing insane pace during Formula 3 on the Sunday races. So I fully expect those two guys to make a challenge, if not for first, at least for the top one, for one of the top two spots. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. And like I said, there's Sendra, who is an independent driver. There's Raj, who is an independent driver. It'll be very interesting to see if they can perform better than some people, but than some teams as a whole. So yeah,
interesting, very interesting.
Is Siri racing today? Unless you're Siri.
I don't believe he is. No.
Is he?
Unless he makes a last-minute entrance, he's not going to be here in time.
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless, we're going to have 20 drivers on this grid.
Wow.
20 drivers. That is a
lot.
Full-on Formula 1 grid. Yeah.
Yeah. We're packed.
Packed indeed. Yep. But as qualifying starts, I don't know why it says 30 minutes, because it's... Oh, we just see Piper on the background spawn. I don't know why it says 30 minutes, because we only have about 13 or so. But oh well, hopefully that'll fix itself.
Absolutely.
I mean, my AC does says 29 minutes left on the server, so yeah. I guess we're starting late then.
Weird. Well, hopefully that'll fix itself. Anyway, as I said beforehand at the top of the show, we have 15 minutes of qualifying. You can see the drivers starting to taxi their way around. G attempts a hot lap, and I think that's already invalid, unfortunately, but we have to see. But you can see G's livery. Let's try saying that 10 times fast. Of course, we didn't have it in the pre-race test beforehand. It was still under development. But here it is in all its glory. I don't know.
What's a good lap time around here? What's a good lap time around?
I believe it's
124. What do you think the pole lap's going to be today then?
123 from Ballista. Somewhere between that region.
123.8.
Yep.
But yeah, Ballista's certainly the favourite one here at the moment.
And like I said at the end of the show, at the last Sunday race we did, we cannot count out G over a season. He is insanely good with these cars. He is going to be another dark horse this season, and it's going to be very fascinating to see if the soon-to-be dad can make a title challenge himself.
Oh, that's quite an announcement from you.
Wait, it's been announced in the Discord server for a while now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
it has been. Secret. He himself said it on the general chat.
Oh, congratulations.
I don't know, Raj, we had a tip that makes you consider this over a lap. We'll see if that's true.
But at the moment, the drivers are starting to do the hot laps at the moment. Not quite gotten times in.
Toba posting the fastest lap as Sato takes it away from him.
And already 124.8.
There you go.
From Sato there. So Yakitori Racing already setting the bar, but we've yet to see Ballista's pace.
As he crosses the line right here. Oh, sorry, no. He's just approaching the stadium section. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, not quite there yet, but we will see his time in a second. We'll stick with him.
That corner always brings back memories from 2018.
Good memories or bad memories?
It depends on whether you're a Sem fan.
I'm a Lewis fan, so good, but it was very painful to see.
It's
when
heartbreaking
like that,
for
yeah.
me. There you go,
Yeah.
Ballista
And
124.2.
Ballista
4.2.
24-2. Good
Wow.
banker, and I think he can. Oh, but that's gonna get invalidated.
Oh.
Yep.
Meanwhile, it seems as though Simon has made enemies with some of the Brabham drivers.
Ooh.
Oh,
He spun and
Not
collected
ideal.
one of the Brabhams on a hot lap, and the other one had to slow down.
Which car? Which is his name here? Is it Bo?
Simon. Bo, I think.
Okay.
It's Danish.
It's Bo.
But yeah. Not making friends already, unfortunately. He's slowed down
No.
both Brabham driver laps, and they've had to redo theirs, so we won't see any laps from Gusty or Mobtron yet.
Ooh, spinning!
Gusty,
He spun?
he's already struggling with that. That's.
Yep.
I wonder if it's going to be indicative of the race or not. We get to see. But 10 minutes of qualifying left. Don't know why it still says 26 minutes, but hey ho. At the moment we have Ballista on a 124.2, followed by Sata on 124.8. P3 is Sendra, who's done a good showing so far, 125.2. P4 is Tobalope, who's found the pace by the looks of it in comparison to the rest of the grid. P5 is Miko, P6 is Gordon, P7 is Gutsy, and the rest of the drivers have yet to set a lap yet.
Very keen to see what Rai can do. He's not been around for the last few seasons, and he's a very good driver himself. So very keen. Yeah, we've got so many regulars we've not seen over the last few seasons. Yeah, it's great to see everyone back once again in the grid.
Well, it is interesting to see if we look at his pace at Fuji in the previous season test race. He was battling amongst like 7th or so. So he was amongst the likes of Lake Bun, Gordon, Gutsy towards the tail of that. So it'll be interesting to see whether he keeps that pace, which is certainly a very respectable pace, considering he's in the sister team for Yakutori Racing, Nova Yakutori.
I think with the grid we have now, with 20 people showing up, I think now being in the top 7 with such a full grid is an advantage, a really good showing. A top 7 to the top 8, I believe. Before we were getting, I think, 10 drivers, and I think being top 3 was respectable, but now I think being top 7, top 8 is what's pushing respectable. As we see G going forth within a second. Sendra has real life open wheel experience, so it should be interesting to see what Sendra can do with these cars. Yeah.
And as we were talking about, the team champion is going to shake up Scoop, went second fastest, so he split the 2 Yakutori drivers.
Here we go, it's getting interesting.
And
already rivalries are forming between the Yakutori racing from Japan and Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing, which I don't know, Austrian, I guess maybe. One driver's Indonesian, the other's Jamaican, and the sponsored by Austrian company. Figure that out.
Multinational.
Yeah, very much so. But we have about 8 minutes or so left in qualifying. You can see
Timer still hasn't fixed itself, which is great to see. But
that's Simon there, holding up one of the future racing.
There's a few drivers who've not set a lap time. Raven, Rohei, Morbatron, Rai, Highwell. They've not set representative lap time, or no lap times at all.
Oh no.
And again, Simon not making many friends along the grid here. Of course, he literally just jumped into the race just as we were starting.
Might have to have a look at that after the race. That's not good.
Fair, yep. But we can see Gordon there in the new livery for Choo Racing.
I even told him to just stay out of the track, or stay out of the way, and then so yeah. Boom.
Bro moment indeed.
Yeah. You can see Gordon on his flying lap now. Don't know if
they are really pushing the limits. They're really pushing the limits.
The track's very busy at the moment, I have to be honest.
I cannot remember being Artito this busy over doing a qualifying session. Cars everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
It's like Q1 at Monaco.
There isn't a moment of which like you're gonna have like a bit of clean track. You either drive now or you just suffer.
A lot of this is if you want to get a top 5 starting spot isn't gonna be if you just have the pace. A lot of it is gonna be down to the fact that if you can just get a clean lap in at this rate. So it'll be very interesting to see if all these guys can hook it all together.
Can I just interrupt you guys for a sec?
Yes, Kenjay.
I've been watching the live chat, and Rage Problem has said, can we award 3 red shells to Rohei? He might need it for the 3 guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
Some favoritism there from the server owner.
Server owner seems like he's a bit of a Rohei fan.
Yeah.
It seems as much.
Maybe I should jump in myself and give everyone a restrictor. Or ballast.
Let's just give Rohei the win.
It's abusing mod powers. We're about to see Gordon set a fast lap here.
Jordan goes to the line.
That doesn't seem like it. I'll check.
Seems like I believe it was invalidated.
Yeah, have a look.
I feel as a driver, and just not as a driver, but from real life flying experience, when you make a mistake, when you do it the second time around, a lot of times you fix it because you know what not to do. But the drivers here pushing at turn 1 clearly are not learning from their previous experiences because they're still running wide at turn 1. So, yeah.
Well, certainly you have to agree that there's a lot of time to be found within that corner because if you can take it just perfectly, that's what, half a second maybe?
Absolutely. I won't say half a second because the run to turn 2 is not long. Definitely argue you can gain about a tenth or two on the run down to turn 2. So, yeah, but sometimes you may lose more than you can gain out of that corner because it might invalidate a lap you were really. It might invalidate a lap which was said to be really good because now you have to do an extra lap on the tires.
Just getting in the way of Sato there. A little bit of a mistake there from the Australian, holding up the Japanese lap.
I have a feeling because these drivers are not used to having so many people in the same qualifying session. They are not very well rehearsed with giving space on an out lap.
Is that the train developing behind the Sato?
It is. Yeah, it looks like it. There's a lot of slipstream forming.
There's his Ballista now, or it's just Sato giving us slipstream to his Yakitori teammate.
Yep, so it seems that Ballista's getting out of the... Well, maybe not. He was taking a wider line to start his lap, so... About 4 minutes left in qualifying. Drivers will start to set their fast lap. Raven goes 5th fastest, and Gussie goes 9th.
Oh, somebody!
Showing there.
Somebody lost it on the turn 1.
Oh dear.
I'll see if we can find who it was. Doesn't look like it was any of the... it might have been Josh Mitchell for Soteria Racing there. He's yet to set a lap either, actually. He hasn't got a lot of time left.
Oh dear.
2.5 minutes. So he's yet to find a clean bit of track.
So how many minutes left in the qualifying session?
3 minutes 28.
Okay.
Set a timer on your phone. Don't know why it's still doing that. Hopefully it fixes it by race time.
I'm actually proud of this app that it does notice that it's already in qualifying.
Yeah, that's good at least. So we've traded like one bug for another.
While we've been waffling on and on and on, Scooby's gone within 3 tenths of home.
He has actually 124.5 from the Indonesian driver there. Certainly challenging Ballista at the moment. And that Verstappen
Red Bull
inspired
scheme on one of the Yakitori cars.
No, that's Mystery Gang. Officially Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing now.
Rohei's driving a Red Bull skin.
Yep.
Yes, he is, alongside with Scooby.
I need to have a word with him about that. Not impressed. Not impressed. Absolutely not impressed with that.
He traded the silver for white.
There might be a... Yeah, maybe, there might be a bit of a penalty coming his way after this race. Yeah, he betrayed the Mercedes fans.
Sendra going 4th fastest there for 124.7. He's the fastest of the independent drivers. With the privateers, as Kendrick put it. We've got about 2 minutes left in qualifying. The grid is starting to form up already. Seems as though every driver but Josh and Felix have set a time yet. Josh is currently on a hot lap. Felix seems to be struggling with the car at the moment. Not sure if he's on a hot lap or not. But you can see the grid starting to form. You can see that the score of times between all the different drivers.
What there, guys? Bob alone seems a bit off pace for his standards with these cars.
Tope, yeah, he's in 11th at the moment, 125.9.
Like, Set's only 3 tenths off of his lap. Wow.
Well, we have talked about Tope being struggling somewhat with these F3 cars. And as a result, not quite having the pace that you would expect them to have with him being champion of the MX-5 class in Season 2. But it seems that he hasn't quite been able to iron out the issues that he's had with the F3 machine at the moment. You can see his YouTube and Twitch perfectly placed for the cameras. But yeah, you can see him. I believe this is a hot lap. We have less than a minute left in the qualifying session, so drivers start to begin their final laps or end their laps at the moment.
Is great. This is great to see. Top 8 separated by a second.
Yeah, it is very
great
close.
for us.
So Ballista, Scoob, Sato, Sendra, Miko, Gutsy, Raven, and G.
Miko,
Certainly with the shot.
Miko and Gutsy, wow.
Well, Tobe going very wide there, unfortunately. I wonder if he'll be able to improve his time. Comes across the line.
No, he doesn't.
Not.
He's up for one more though.
Yeah, he's got one more in him. And drivers will start to have one more lap within them. About less than 20 seconds left of qualifying.
Sorry if I sound a bit funny at times. I have a very sore throat this morning, this afternoon.
Unfortunate. But qualifying ends in 3, 2, 1, now. So drivers will be finishing their laps at the moment.
So everyone's lap now is their final one.
Yep. Oh, Tobe having a bit of a lock up there,
But
going
if
slow
Tom
through turn
wants to
6.
start in the top 10, he has to make this lap count. This is it.
We'll start to see final time start to come through between all the drivers. I believe Ballista is currently on a flyer at the moment. He's going through sector 3. So we'll start to see the benchmark for pole form in a second.
As we continue right on board with Todd, yeah. Is Ballista going to improve on his lap time?
No, he's pulled to the side, so he's allowed to not go for the
Wow.
laps. Time to beat for the top drivers is 124.2.
That's 24.2. Can anyone get close to that 124.2, I wonder?
Scoob's out, he's no longer racing, so
Oh,
he's down to
again,
Sato.
wide.
A bit understeered there from Todd. If he can be within a second of Ballista's pole, I think that would be a good effort from him. Here he
Okay,
comes
there
to
we go.
the
Top
line.
10 for Tobe.
1.2 into the top 10. That is good for him. That's good. But now we wait to see if others can improve behind him.
It is an improvement by 4/10, but in practice there's only one position gained there. And
Sato as well has pulled off to the side. It's all on Miko to see if he can improve now and find half a second or 2/10 to challenge for a pole or front row respectively. As he comes through the stadium section now, this is the apex slide.
He pulled on the
He's
pit.
pulled and he's aborted. So unless
seems
somebody
as though
pulls out, unless somebody
Rohei
pulls off,
just about to finish his
Oh,
lap.
it went to the gravel.
and Rohei's gone really wide there as well.
Doesn't
in
seem
the
to
Red
improve.
Bull
Oh, he
livery.
improves. He just
Improves
improves
though.
position.
Wow.
Wow. Well, he must have lost at least 2/10 on that final corner. So
Yeah.
Alright,
Well
there we
done.
go then.
So there is your grid for race 1. Ballista and PU1 leading the way for Yakuto Racing. P2 is Scoob, flying the flag there for Mr. Gang Rebel Racing. P3 is Sato, combining the Japanese team on the first two grids. P4 is Sandra, the leader of the protest. P5 is Miko. P6 is Gutsy, flying the flag for the Australian-based Bravo Boys. P7 is Raven, good showing from her in her first outing as Kamekami. P8 is G. P9 is Rohei. P10 is Tobalobe. P11 is Lakebone for Satiri Racing. P12 and P13 is Zeth and Gordon respectively, both Choo-Choo Racing drivers. P14 is Rai in the sister Nova Yakitori team. P15 is Pipewell. P16 is Morbitron. P17 is Felix. P18 is Simon Boel. And P19, without a time, interestingly, is Josh Mitchell. And that completes your grid. And the drivers getting onto track now. And the tension is certainly in the air. Seconds
Jeez,
remaining.
Micah, this is going to be great to watch.
And
There's a
this is
safety
pretty-
car in the back.
Yep, that would be me. Hello.
Medical car in standby on behind.
Can't wait to see Garlic absolutely obliterate everyone.
I don't have my wheel set up. I don't have anything to move.
So here we go, guys.
30 seconds left.
30
Tensions are
seconds
building.
left.
You know, I said it before, Fuzi, I'll say it again. They might be teammates, but Sate gets a sniff of the inside of turn 1. He's taking it. It's going to be very good to see.
Forward, and you can start to hear those V6 Mechacrem sing as the lights start to get activated. You can
Here we
hear all the
go.
drivers getting ready. Lights are on, you can hear them singing. You go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. Round 1 begins now, and away we
Oh,
go.
shit.
It's a good start for It seems
Melissa
though
gets a
Gustav
good
the
start.
Yakitori drivers comparison to Scoop, he doesn't quite get the entrance that he wanted to. Hopefully it's all
Big
clean. No,
collision
it's not.
behind.
Oh, one of
And it looked
the,
at those. It looked
that
at
might
those
be
Choo Choo
Rohei.
Racing. Yeah, there was Rohei. I think that's Choo Choo Racing. I'm not totally sure. I think that was Gordon who got involved in there. And that seems as though there was a stricken orange car from Simon. Simon is currently just stationary at the moment, so I wonder if that was his fault or not. We'll have to see at a post-race inspection. But it seems as though that the top four at the moment are all breaking away. They're trying to make a move on Lake Fun there. The team rivalry starting to build already. So going to turn 6 for the first time there. There's a bit of a lock-up. Don't know someone's around. There's someone
Sato's
around
round.
there. It's a
Sato's
Yakitori driver.
round.
Sato's
Oh,
round there.
Sato.
Yakitori driver
Oh,
round.
man.
He starts to lose position. Not quite sure where he's fallen to as there's multiple drivers battling for the positions of the opening laps here. But it seems as though Sandra has made his way up into P2. And we see Rai fighting with Rohei for the scraps of positions. They both try to recover. Oh, another car round. The Scoop round.
Oh, wow.
And both Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing drivers not getting the starts they wanted, both falling down the pack out in race 1. Unfortunate there for the drivers. Meanwhile, it seems that there's Felix, so we haven't actually quite shown, but it seems to be an Alpine-inspired car. Battling out alongside the two Superior drivers, Lakebun trying to find the scraps alongside Felix, not quite being able to find, so Felix will get the traction to get away at the moment. So he's battling P11. Good start for me considering he started in P17, but we're going to lap 2 already. Drivers starting to get their way into the race rhythm. And you can see the train starting to form already. Whoa! Big swipe there from Felix, you just saw. Following Mitchell here, good start from Kim. So all the way down in P19 at the beginning. Made his way up to P10. He's looking to make a move on the coming car of Turbolobe for P9. Looks like they have traction on board with him now. Entering the DRS turn. DRS is activated. We'll see it in good effect here between the two cars. Going side by side. Seems that the Australians on the left, the Nord is on the right.
Ooh.
They do touch. Oh, and a good save there from Josh
Wow.
Mitchell. Pretty close driving there, but maybe a little too close, I think you'd have to say, but they're both able to keep it clean for the most part, and it's Linus Stern coming into turn 6 now for the second time. Wow, and you can see all the cars now trying to find their own piece of tarmac, trying to make their way, trying to settle into the race. But at the moment, it seems that the Ballista is starting to make his way out. Speaking of Ballista, the second Yakitori car of Sato, currently in P6, seems to be able to make his way back up the grid. He's now fighting for P5 against the Australian privateer of G. The third fastest privateer team by the looks of it, and you can see the Japanese driver trying to find any which way, trying to use as much of the track as possible to find a way around the Australian driver. It seems as though there's half a car width on the apex there for the Japanese driver, but nothing quite coming out of it. But this is the fast lap of the race for 125.8. He's already streaking away from Sendra and Miko. Raven in P4 is actually quite a good start from her. She might be itching for a podium at the moment. But we're going to lap 3 now. The Australian driver is trying to make a gap from the Japanese driver. It's a bit liberal with the
Watch these drivers keep extending turn 1, turn left, one lap 8.
oh,
He's
it
not
seems
right
the
there.
G's up both himself there.
Sato's
And Sato is
slowing
going to
it
have
out.
Sato is going to have the DRS and he's going to have the slipstream. He already seems to be gaining for the traction zone. Coming towards T6 now through turn 5. He already has a lot more airspeed capacity for the Australian driver. He'll go round the outside and already make the move before he even reaches turn 6. A great move there from the Yakitori driver.
Powerful.
It's very powerful indeed. You can see Zeth there for P7. Might be trying to make some sort of move here against G. Certainly find the flag there for Choo Choo Racing. Team that we did expect to be towards the mid-pack or towards the bottom. But fighting it out for P6 here is a very good showing from the Filipino driver. See Felix trying to make some sort of move here on the sister car for Yakitori. Nova Yakitori Racing there with Rai. Not quite getting it straight or very tidy, and it was something I did notice during qualifying, Kendrick. It seemed as though that Felix was struggling with the car's grip.
Really? I haven't noticed it.
You might be able to see it here, but he's getting a slow.
Raven
He's getting
here.
a sideways quite a bit. So you can see Raven fighting it out for P3. Great showing from her. Her first race here for Kamekame Racing. You can just see Kendrick, so we can show just the bottom right of your screen. But she is really fighting it out amongst the top drivers here. You can see Miko trying to shake off the American driver, but not quite getting it to avail. You can just see Sendra as well, just in front. So battle here forming for the podium position. Sorry. But it seems as though for the most part it's all Linus Stern. Just of note, it seems as though a lot of drivers are getting illegal DRS usage penalties here. Don't quite know why.
Oh, he spun!
Oh, Raven,
Kept it around though.
Raven, a great
Wow.
save from Raven there.
Great save.
But that is going to lose time in comparison to the two podium positions. So this is something she's going to be wanting. So she's going to have to hope that both Sendra and Miko, who are both battling at the moment for position, will be able to make some sort of mistake. Meanwhile, Pipeworld making a making a move on Zeth there. Zeth fallen back quite considerably there, so I wonder if he's made a mistake, because he was in P7 when we last saw him. Oh, and I think that's an indication
Scooby
there.
takes it as well.
Scoop getting the shoulders out there, trying to make a recovery drive from the pretty atrocious start from lap 1. Zeth will fall all the way back down to P12, and you just see behind him his teammate, the South African driver of Gordon. Also having to battle off against the driver behind him. Ballista's fast lap of 125.4, and he's starting to flex in comparison to the rest of the drivers, already 4.7, or 4.6 seconds in front of P2. You can just see a Michigan car going wide there. I think that was Scoob who's having some difficulties getting a turn in to turn 15. Not quite sure what happened there.
Oh, Mitchell just gone round.
Oh, Mitchell's gone round. Having to rejoin. And that's unfortunate there from the Australian driver, all the way back down. All that work from the Australian pretty much coming undone in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, Vi is battling for P9, where it looks at the Soteria, against the Soteria Racing driver of Lake Bun, the Indonesian versus the Japanese drivers. There might be a little bit of international rivalry between them here, but you'll see Vi has the DRS against the Soteria Racing car. Will he try to make a move coming into turn 6? Now, he does look towards the right-hand side. All squirrely there, but oh my goodness, he managed to get it stopped, managed to get alongside just for a moment at the very least, but that's certainly going to be putting the fear of God in Lake Bun there. And he's right behind the Indonesian driver at the moment, on board now with Vi, and he's really looking any which way. Lake Bun goes defensive here, but Vi will get the crossback coming through turn 8, I believe it is, into turn 9 and turn 10. The Soteria driver goes defensive, but it's going to have his line compromised, and it seems as though Scoob's right behind him. You can just see actually in the mirrors there of the Nova Yakutori car that Scoob is trying to get involved on this battle. Ballista sets another fast lap, 125.445, but I think something much more interesting at the moment, battle for P9 here. See Vi trying to battle with this car's tire degradation is going to start coming into play, and drivers will start thinking about strategy. But it seems as though for the most part of this limestone, but he will have DRS coming out of turn 16 and on to lap 6. He's really fighting that car, trying to get past this driver.
Scooby once again disconnected. Unfortunate.
And he's gone, but meanwhile, it seems that the battle for P9 is forming. Vi's going to look towards the outside here, coming into turn 3. Nothing comes of it though, but he is going to have a better traction, and the crisscross site coming out of the corner onto the long turn 5 now. He will have DRS. Lake Bun immediately chooses the line, tries to go as defensive as possible. Doesn't seem to be able to matter really, as the Nova Yakutori car streaks past the Soteria Racing car into P9. A good showing from Vi so far, but he will of course have Lake Bun to contend with, and it seems that Lake Bun was able to keep pace, if not go faster, than the Nova Yakutori car through the curvy bits. That's a professional term. Through sectors 2 and 3, so it'll be interesting to see how the battle develops. Meanwhile, the battle for P2 has really gotten spicy, as Ray has been able to get on the back of this battle for P2 here, as Sendra getting a little bit squirrely. He's gone wide here, and it might give an opportunity for Mika to make some sort of move, as well as Raven. Nothing comes of it though, as they all sort of get within each other's way.
Oh my god!
And there's a conflict here between Filipino driver and the American driver, and it's a huge battle here for P2. It's going off already. Miko seems to lead, but they all go in limestone into turn 1. All very sensible drivers here, all have a very good experience between them, but Miko will take P2 for the meantime. Sendra though is looking, he's lurking, he's going to try and, no, he thinks better, but he's right behind the Filipino driver here, the Japanese-Spanish driver, the only national driver on the grid here. He'll make a move towards the right-hand side, going alongside to turn 5. On lap 7 here, he won't have DRS available, unfortunately. Not quite sure why, but he is going to be alongside. It's last late breakers here. And Sendra just about makes the move, but he is going to be quite slow coming out of the exit, as well as Miko. And you can just see Raven behind. I believe that Artito is well starting to get involved. This battle here for P2 has gone from 2 to 3 to 4 drivers getting involved. You can see Miko trying to get some sort of response here against the Japanese Spanish driver. Nothing coming of it though. You can see Raven there starting to licking her lips, starting to think, I could take one of these podium positions here. And honestly, it might look as though that Sato will also be getting involved in this battle in the coming moments. So as we go to Raven getting a little bit loose, unfortunately, so she's going to lose time as we're heading in towards turn 12 and into turn 13 now. Drivers all understand for the most part, but Miko and Raven and Sato will all have DRS coming onto the straight, coming out of turn 1 and coming out to turn 4 onto turn 5 as well. You can see that rear flap open there for the Filipino driver, and the rear flap would open as well for the American driver as they go in towards the Nord curve now for the 8th time in this race. Both Sendra and Miko both going wide, but Raven able to keep it clean for the most part. And it seems as though there's all lines, no one really gaining any lasting advantage between the drivers. But it seems that the DRS will be activated for Miko and Raven. Raven is starting to gain a little bit. And you can see Sendra has already gone defensive, interestingly enough. So I wonder if he's expecting that DRS to take effect towards the later stages. And it is. That assumption was correct. Miko goes for his left-hand side. He'll make the move coming into turn 6 again. Will he make it sick? No, he won't. And that's going to slow him up. And Raven's going to try and capitalize on it, but not quite. Doesn't seem as though Raven has the traction necessary to be able to capitalize on these two drivers battling. But meanwhile, it seems as though Sato is going to be right behind. Oh no, Sato's been a mistake. He's fallen back. I don't know when that happened, unfortunately, but Sato's back down to P10. So G is assumed P5, and there's quite a distance between those two drivers. But going back to the fight here for P2, and it seems as though it's pretty much line the same for the most part. We get to turn 12 now again. A little bit of a squirrely between all three drivers there, so trying to push the limits of their cars to the absolute best. Miko getting a little bit of a poor line there, and I wonder if Raven's going to be able to capitalize. Oh no, all three drivers go in, I think. So pit stops are being done for the moment. Meanwhile,
oh my god, Zed!
Death of the worst time there, unfortunately. Getting it all squirrely coming out of turn 11 onto turn 12, and as we said before,
can you keep the car going?
He might be able to keep the car going, but he's tumbling down the order, unfortunately. And the rear of the Ack will be able to capitalize on that, but as we said beforehand, I wonder if we're going to see a Germany 2018, well, it was just right there. Meanwhile, drivers are all making their pit stop for the first race at the moment, so they will have to cycle through.
Just in between the gap of the gearbox.
Just about, but it seems as though Miko and Sendra are already battling here to come through turn 5 into turn 6. You'll see Raven as well, just getting involved. And is anyone waiting? 3 wide, just about. Oh my goodness, Miko on the left, Raven in the middle, Sendra on the right. I think so. Yes, that's correct. And they all seem to be keeping it clean for the most part. All seem to be keeping it clean for the most part in the P2 position. Sendra's able to get the traction comparison. Raven and Miko, and Miko will have maybe a millimeter or so. Raven gives room, good on her. But it seems as though Raven will have the overspeed and the position in comparison to the Filipino drivers to be able to make the move.
Get a good exit of this corner here towards the stadium section. Can you? No, not even going to be close enough to make a dive into that corner.
No, he's not going to be close enough, and it seems though that the Japanese-Spanish driver Sendra is starting to make a gap between the American and the Filipino driver. Seems to be all uncertain now, but Miko seems to be the loser in that pit stop procedure in comparison to the American and the Japanese-Spanish driver. And I believe that means that Raven is going to be in net P3 now. Oh, there's a slow car. G's gone off there. And it seems as though G is tried to go in the pit stop after going past the allotted spot. We'll have to see what happened there in the post-race review from the stewarding team. But meanwhile, Raven's already trying to make a move here on Sendra. It's a really good showing from the American driver. She's very racy in that Kame car. And she's going to try and square it up some sort of move here, coming through turn 5 now. Again, DRS will be open for the American driver. You can see her gaining with the slipstream, with the DRS, but Mika's going to be right behind her. He's going to look for a move. They go
once
3
again, 3 wide!
Once again, it's very brave from all these drivers, but able to keep it clean for the most part.
Oh my god!
Huge dive.
Keep it clean!
Up, and we see
good dive.
Getting involved here for the net position of P2. Mika on board here with Mika, but it seems as though Sendra's been able to keep his positioning for the most part. Raven was the one who lost out there in comparison to Mika. Mika was able to make the move, but Mika's looking a little squirrely coming through this turn 8 here onto turn 10, I think this is. Yep. And this battle is getting very, very spicy, and we can add one more, the Yakitori driver of Free Play Sato, just in the background there you can see, and he's right behind Raven now, and this battle from Net P2 has become a 4-way battle. I don't believe Tobe is stopped quite yet, so I don't believe he's in Net P2, but we're yet to be seen.
Is he pitting down?
Tobe's in the pits now. Yeah, so he's just in the pits now. There's a contact there. I think Raven and Sato had contact between them. It was just in the background there.
Unfortunately, I did not see it.
It was just in the background, but both drivers getting involved with each other. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. Oh,
I
Raven!
think damage, I think, is
sideways
just...
there.
Yeah,
I
damage
think
is
Raven has
affecting
maybe
him.
a bit of damage. You can just see, I believe that was Tron coming out of this. Not entirely certain of that. But meanwhile, this battle here for P2 from 4 back down to 3. But now we have the Japanese drivers with the American driver on 3-place Sato. He's trying to make a move here alongside Miko. Both Miko and Sendra will have the DRS against Miko and Sato have the DRS against Sendra. And Sendra's getting swallowed by the 2 Asian drivers here. But it
Not
seems
quite,
like he's
no,
being
not
able
quite.
to make a move. Will keep the position here of P2. But this battle here is getting very, very intense. As the lap's starting to whittle down now, actually. Sada's going to try and make some sort of move. He goes towards the left-hand side, but Sendra's not going to allow it.
Ooh, around the outside!
Some way. The Yakitori driver's found a way through, and Sendra's going to have to give him the space here. And yes, he does. And it seems that the Yakitori driver is going to be able to unsettle the Sendra just a little bit. The Yakitori car will take the wider line, and Sato trying to look some sort of move into turn 12, but nothing's going to come of it. But Miko's
once again, around the outside, contact there!
There's contact between the 2 drivers.
Wow.
For the second time, Sato is in the gravel in this race. Sendra getting it a little bit too squirrely there, I think. Had a bit of an oversteer, and as a result, he's punted the Japanese driver into the gravel. Might have damage here, but not entirely certain. But it seems that Mika will have DRS, and he's probably going to try and make some sort of move here on Sendra for P2, trying to capitalize on the position. Both go insanely wide here on live live broadcast. I should say, not television. We're not quite that professional yet. But Sendra is going to be battling for his life here in comparison to the Filipino driver. You can see the Filipino driver there just on hard, started from 5th, gaining 2 positions. He did a great race from him so far. Sendra is also on the hard tyre, so there's not going to be any tyre difference here, but there's going to be a difference in the DRS, and as a result of the straight line speed, Miko's gaining. He's really gaining. He's going to make a move around the outside. Will he make it stick? Around the outside of turn 6, there hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Miko going around the outside. No, he doesn't. Gets a little squirrely on the exit. Sendra's going to be able to keep the P2 at the moment, and it seems that this is a common occurrence here. Drivers trying to battle it out for this second position, trying to go around the outside, but Sendra being able to protect the inside line. Miko, they're just getting a little squirrely, unfortunately. But he's going to be losing a little bit of time here as we come out of turn 10 towards turn 11 now. It seems that it's all uncertain for the most part. Meanwhile, Ballista's made a massive gap as these drivers have been battling for position. 16 seconds now from first to second, so I'm pretty sure that position is almost certain unless Ballista gets involved in traffic or makes some sort of uncharacteristic mistake. But it seems that it's pretty much line of sight going through second 3 now for the 12th time on towards the 13th lap now. No driver really getting any lasting advantage here, but we do know that the DRS is incredibly powerful. Going through turn 5 towards that turn 6 hairpin. See all the drivers making their way through, at least drive through the corner legally this time. It seems that G's had some sort of off, he's gotten involved in some sort of drama, not entirely sure what's happened there, but
he spun?
Oh, he spun, he's had a big spin. That's not what you want to see from the Australian driver, and he's maybe just about to be able to... No, he's retired from the race. No, he's given up on race 1 here. He'll have to wait until the second race to be able to race again. But meanwhile, oh my goodness, Gordon going sideways there. He's trying to battle alongside Lakebun. A good battle falling here between the Soteria drivers. Meanwhile, Mika and Sendra are fighting position again. Doesn't think that anything is coming of that though. No, I'm mistaken, sorry. Mika's going alongside Sendra here. Going through turn 11, turn 7
small
here,
contact.
turn 8. Very little bit of contact.
Oh, he's on the...
Give him a whole lot of room.
He's on the sausage curbs.
Sato has been able to capitalize on both drivers as a result.
All this battling has allowed Ballista to pull out a monster gap.
But somehow,
17 seconds now in the lead.
But somehow, Sato, from the horrendous result that he had towards the opening laps, and then getting punted towards the gravel again from, I believe it was Sendra earlier on, has now made his way into P2 and it's a Yakitori 1-2. Something of which we were somewhat expecting. We weren't expecting it to happen in this manner. The Yakitori car of Sendra's...
I would not have put money for it to be Yakitori 1-2 after lap 1 when Sato went around. He's done well to find himself back in the equation.
Certainly, but he isn't going to be quite out of the water yet. You can see Sendra is within range. 0.8 of a second now down towards 0.7. Of course, the US is activated on 2 seconds of a gap in the car in front, and he will have the slipstream, and we know how powerful the slipstream is around this part of the circuit here. We don't quite know how much time is going to be gained in comparison towards the car in front of you, but you can see that time starting to trickle down, and we will see Sendra have the overspeed in comparison to the Japanese driver. He will be just behind the gearbox here. It seems as though Sato has gotten a little bit wrong, and Sendra's going to be able to capitalize. He's right behind the gearbox in the Akatori car. He'll go towards the left-hand side. Sato has to go defensive as a result. He leave each other room, but it'll give Sendra the opportunity to make a move towards turn 8, and he will make the turn stick, and Sendra's able to reclaim P2. And it's not quite what the Akatori driver wanted, but Sendra's got a little squirrely there, coming out of turn 10 into turn 11 now. And it seems as though that both drivers are really starting to feel the effects of tire degradation as well as the length of the race. Sato drops off a little bit of time, so it doesn't seem as though he's quite got the pace in comparison to Sendra through that corner. But we hop on to lap 15 now as Ballista's already streaking away. The battle for P2 and P3 isn't quite settled yet, and I have to remind viewers that Miko is going to be lurking just behind the two drivers here, and he might be able to capitalize on some sort of mistake or battle between these two drivers.
Ooh,
Sato taking a lot of liberties there with the track limits. Not quite something you want to be doing in front of the race director, but you can see, oh my
he lost it on the rear once again!
Sato's gone round, and Miko's
gone round! What? I'm lost for words!
Miko seemed to have a moment himself, and he understeered into Sato by the looks of it. That is so unlucky for Sato.
And that's not what you want to see. And Miko might have got a little too eager, but it seems like meanwhile the Kamekame drivers somehow find their way into P4 and P5. Raven making the move on her teammate for P4. The great showing from those two, being able to capitalize on a lot of the misfortune of the rest of the pack.
I would not rule out Raven for podium at this, right?
Honestly,
certainly,
it's entirely possible. Miko might have some sort of damage, honestly, after that incident. Seems as though he's driving straight for the most part, but Sendra's already made his way quite far away. But if you want that podium from Raven or Toad for that matter, Flying Sand, you might want to issue some sort of team orders here and tell them to stop fighting. You can see the leader now on the final lap. Ballista, certainly quite a masterclass from the Japanese driver, yes again. But I think little can be said in comparison for his teammate Sato. Sato getting involved in a lot of crashes there. Some his fault, some not his. But it's been a very interesting race one here for Season 4, the Artito Racing Championship. And wow, what a way to kickstart the race here. You can see Piper battling for P11 here alongside the Superior Racing car. I wonder if anything's going to come off it before the flag drops. It seems that the podium position are for the most part locked up entirely, unless Miko or Sendra make some sort of mistake. I think it's a bit foolish to assume that Ballista's going to make an uncharacteristic mistake here. But you can see Pipewell trying to gain time here on the Superior car of Lakebun P11. The Superior Racing not quite having the pace that we were expecting, that they did have, at the Fuji preseason test race, not quite able to carry it over towards the German Grand Prix. Maybe we'll be able to see something coming late in race 2. We see Pipewell going very wide there and onto the grass. He's really pushing him, but I don't think he's been able to make any headroom. But if we could cut to Ballista as he's coming towards the final couple of corners at the moment. A great race from him, a huge 20-second lead, and an absolutely amazing showing for race 1 of round 1 at the German Grand Prix. Ballista will take it for race 1 here at Hockenheim. A good showing here from, I think it's safe to say, the lead driver of the Akatori Racing. Sendra a long way back in comparison to the rest, in comparison to Ballista, but he's making his way through turn 15 onto turn 16 now. A good second place here from the first privateer driver. He's very happy that you can see here. He'll take P2. Good showing from him. A good, well-earned P2. Miku will secure P3. It's not quite something you expect. You can see the Kamekame drivers fighting out towards the bitter end. Toad will take P4. Well done from him. And Raven will take P5. Sato will take P6. Unfortunate from him considering where he was at the certain instances of the race. Rai for the Nova Yakitori sister team will take P8. A good showing from him. Gordon will lead the way for Choo-Choo Racing in P9 as he makes his way across the line. He does so now. Josh Mitchell somehow from last to 10th back down all the way to last, getting spin and involved in crashes. He'll make his way back up to P10, being able to fly the flag here for Satiro Racing. His teammate finished at P11, Pipewell just behind in P12. Felix on his first race in P13, Zeth in P14, he was lapped unfortunately. And then the non-finishers of G, Rohei, I believe also a non-finisher as well as Gusty. And Scoob, of course, having that unfortunate disconnect. And that was race 1. And wow, what an eventful race.
Yeah, good outing from Tobal as well. Started from P10.
And very good showing there from Kamekame Racing. Both drivers doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately for G as well, the incident that took him out of the race.
Yep.
He was doing so well.
But, well, that was just race 1. We've got a whole other race.
And now we got reverse grid, so I don't know if I'll have any voice left after this race.
Yeah. But, of course, the non-finishers and the disconnects will be able to race for this second one. So hopefully Scoob has fixed that internet gremlin that he had. And we just see the server starting to go through the motions for race 2. Drivers chatting amongst themselves. All the sorries between the drivers, contacts, etc. No ill feelings by the looks of it, thankfully. Whether that's going to carry into race 2 and into the post-race deliberation between the drivers is yet to be seen. But as our great camera operator Kendrick sets up his camera here for race 2, predictions, boys. What do you think?
Oof.
This is going to be a tough one because generally in a reverse grid race, it will be even hard to bet against Ballista, but we've got so many cars on the grid for this race. It will take a mammoth effort, even for someone like him, to go last first year. I don't know. Anyone can win this race at this point. It's hard to say. It's going to be very interesting to see as we see Rohe is going to be on pole for this race, is he?
Yep, Rohe is on pole.
The idol Jamaican on pole.
Yep. So Rohe in P1, G in P2, Zeth P3, followed by Felix, Pipewell.
If G can get a good start, he can have a good shot at this, I believe.
Certainly, yeah. Gordon in P8, P9 is Rai, P10 is Morbishon, 11 is Sato, 12 is
I will
Raven.
be turning on Ballista's stream to see what music he's listening to as he slices his way through the queue.
He's like the Stig. Weird music, fast driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Tobin 13, Nico 14. Central 15, Ballista 16, Gusty 17, and Scoob 18.
This is a proper reverse grid race. I cannot wait for this.
As the lights come on, we're waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. Race 2, round 1, here in Germany. As lights out and away it seems as though G got a good start comparison to the Anvil Jamaican of Rohe there. Will he be able to keep it clean towards Tomo? Rohe goes very, very wide. A little bit of liberties there as all the drivers go through. It seems as though that there was a Brabham car getting a little loose, but it seems we're all clean here through turn 1. Will be able to say the same coming into turn 2 now. All the drivers trying to fight for some sort of position. 3 wide all the way across the grid. There's a Yakitori, that's a mystery gang. I believe that was a Choo-Choo Racing as well. Right into P7 there by the looks of it. He started from P9, so a good start from here. He's already challenging Pipewell. You can see the drivers all getting their slipstream there. Seems as though Sandra and Mika are not quite able to get the start that they want to comparison. Gordon off there, but he's making the move there on Sato, using every bit of the track and maybe a little bit more. He's got 3 wide there. All keeping clean for the most part there, but drivers all squabbling, trying to find some sort of room.
All the way, Ballista slicing his way through the field, already up at 11.
Yep, already up into 11 there for the Japanese driver. Pretty characteristic of him, I have to be said, as we head in towards turn 8 for the first time there. Very clean from all the drivers, so it's a good start, good stuff here in comparison to race 1. The Brabham car's not quite getting the start that he wanted there. Towards the back of the grid, you can just see, but meanwhile, the Yakutoy and the Mystery Machine Rebel Racing cars all battling amongst each other.
Scooby's in a bit of a Yakitori sandwich here, isn't he?
He is,
yes,
a little bit.
Indeed.
Seems to be the chicken of the skewer, by the looks of it.
Good one.
Rohe's pulled out to a second and a half out in front. Good start from him.
Did Topol just disconnected?
Yes, he did.
Unlucky for him. Wow.
It seems as though Tome didn't take the grid, unfortunately, so he's all the way at the very back, and he's going to be a lap down. So you can see his teammate actually quite come right there, battling alongside there.
Turn 1. Jesus Christ.
It seems as though there's been a bit of a... Whoa, big send down.
Oh, big sending there. Wow.
That was Scoob, I think. Scoob falling all the way back down to P10, but you can see Gusty battling out alongside Sentra. Good showing for me, and both will have DRS. You can see all the drivers trying to find their own little bit of tarmac for the moment. Nothing quite coming over there, but there's 3 right there between the American, the Indonesian, and I think that was Sentra there as well. No, hold your breath.
Oh my god, that was so tight!
That was great racing there.
Wow.
Great racing there from all the drivers. Absolutely incredible. Raven, though, having to battle alongside, it seems though every
Oh my god! Scooby just disconnected once again!
Scoob
Oh
teleports
no, he's there.
back.
He's there. He's
Back
back.
and
He's
Oh.
there? Big shot
Oh,
from the
no.
back!
I think that was
Scooby.
Raven. No, it wasn't
I think
Raven,
that's
sorry.
Scooby.
That was
That's
Sendra.
Scooby.
Sendra and Scoob getting involved there.
That seems to be something to do with the connection.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gutsy also getting involved there. Not quite sure what happened, but
Lister's lost out quite a bit there as well. He's now 2 seconds behind Raven.
yeah, he is
Wow.
in P11, so he's having to battle
Guys,
alongside the American driver.
Guys, something's happened to G.
Yeah,
It's
G's dropped all
Rohe.
the way back down.
Rohe is leading by 4 seconds. Can the idle Jamaican pull off an unlikely win?
And I think
Ooh. Those are big statements, bro.
Oh, it
This,
seems
if
as
he
though
can, it's still a long way to go. But if Rohe can hold on to this would be monumental for his confidence.
Exactly. As well for the team.
and I think we have to point this out. Soteria Racing are second and third at the moment.
Wow.
Great show
Great
here.
for them.
But it seems as though Gordon's going to make a move here on Rye. Raven getting a good view here. A bunch of smoke in the background there. Don't know if that was a
Raven-
contact or
Raven's
lock up.
throwing off the corner nicely.
And Shield trying to make a
And we'll
move
get the
here.
drive off, yeah. So let's stay on board with as we now approach the stadium section. Can she hold it from the outside? Worst cameraman. I said
Oh.
keep the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
I can't hear you well.
Raven up to 8. That's fine.
Yep, Raven
Ballista's
up
up
to
in
8.
10.
So Ballista might have been a little bit of a team player there. As
Ballista's up
Ballista,
into 9 as a pass
Yeah.
to Rye. I don't want to Rye, but
I think Rye letting a little slide. Oh, there was a Choo-Choo Racing that went off towards turn 12 there. I think that was there.
what's happened to G, guys? He's up in 10.
It's gone down to 10th. I don't know quite what's happened
Damage,
there.
probably.
It is
Yeah,
possibly
maybe.
damage, yeah. That's unfortunate there from the Australian driver. I could have really got opportunity.
Personally not a fan of this damage. series.
Alessio Series just joined the
Oh.
server midway
Am
through
I
race
allowed-
2.
Am I allowed to mute my and restart the race?
That's gonna be a no, I think.
Yes, of course. Damn it, he's just a bit too late to the party. But anyways, as we continue on, Idle Jamaican out in front by 5 seconds, but
Oh my
Ballista
goodness, a great penalty here.
Side by
slowly
side
picking
now.
his way through the field. This is what Ballista does so well. He just waits for other people
Oh,
to make
big
a
send
mistake.
there
As
from
I said, big send.
He'll make
Gordon.
2 moves in 1. Oh!
Oh!
Raven's gone right there, unfortunately.
Ballista may have hit someone, or was that Raven? I don't know.
That was Raven and I'm not entirely sure that might have been Ballista. I think it
know.
was actually. So Ballista might have been a little bit naughty there, unfortunately. G's retired from the race. I think he's had some sort of damage,
Oh.
unfortunate, from the Australian
no.
there. Meanwhile,
I'm gonna be
Miko
very
into.
busy.
Meanwhile, Miko is up into P10 alongside Zeth. Zeth seems to not quite have the pace comparison to the rest of the pack among him. He's been slipping away and making mistakes.
He's back.
This particular section has not been favourable
Oh, bit
towards
wide for
Peter.
Zed with the
As-
gravels.
As I say that, oh, someone's around. Josh Mitchell. That's unfortunate there.
Oh, and there's another car parked to the side of the track.
That's unfortunate there from the Australian, and that is Pipewell. That doesn't look like a
Ballista
stable
is
car.
up to 4th, but he's gonna have to pass his teammates to win this race unless
Oh.
he can get him in.
Who was that? Vi went off on the straight there. Not quite sure what happened there. But Vi tumbles all the way back down to P10. The Nova Yakutori car not quite
Come
getting
on,
it
Rohe.
right there.
Get your elbows up. Get your elbows up. Come on.
Meanwhile, Miko is fighting for P5 here alongside Gordon. He'll make the move quite
Almighty
nicely.
battle
Oh,
going
early
on.
there.
Almighty battle going on for second, guys. Almighty battle going on for second.
Second at the moment. It seems as though Lake Bun and Sato are both fighting it out amongst each other, trying to make some sort of position.
Yeah.
Lake Bun will keep P2 for the meantime.
This is
Okada
just gonna
cross
allow
Sato
Ballista
there.
to go close in.
And no love lost between these two drivers. Lake Bun cutting across the Japanese driver there, so the door is closed firmly there. He'll try to make some sort of defense against the Yakutori Cup. We do know Sato has an astronomical pace in comparison to Lake Bun, so it is a little.
And let's not beat about the Sato is one of the hardest but fairest wheel-to-wheel races as well, if not.
Absolutely.
That is indeed true.
Seems the Seth is making his way up into P late, Morbitron dropping down to P9.
Watching Sato go wheel-to-wheel is a bit like watching an old Max Verstappen go wheel-to-wheel.
Yeah, I think that's quite fair, honestly.
Are you implying the much more rugged and very risky Max Verstappen of the 2016 era?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, since then, Morbitron has made his way from P10 all the way to P7. Gutsy seems to have dropped positions from
Oh,
Zen
guys,
and
keep
Raven
it
there.
on the track. If Sato may have a penalty coming his way if he doesn't move this position because he gained a lasting advantage there.
So these
Going
positions
wide
may
up
not
and
actually
on.
be entirely permanent there. You heard it first from the race director as Sato makes the move here for P2. You can
Yep.
see in the background his teammate of Ballista
Definitely
probably
a
looking for
penalty.
some sort of move with that DRS against the Superior racing car of Lakebun. Lakebun just basically is going to try and just keep in this DRS here. Whoa! Big ol' move! And one that's not going to quite work out there for the Indonesian driver, and he's going to
just
lose
too
time
much.
alongside. He's going to lose time on the Japanese driver there of Ballista. Ballista right on the gearbox there of the Superior racing car. He's going to look to the left-hand side. No, looks right. No, he's going to hold behind there, but looks of it.
He's gonna have to fight for this one, it seems. Ballista's got two very, very hard overtakes in front of him. You have a chance at winning this race.
But I wonder if there's going to be some sort of team orders there from Sato.
There's absolutely no way Sato's. Absolutely no way. I will step down as race director if he lets him through.
I'm holding you to account on that.
Caught on stream as well.
Yep. Meanwhile, Lakeman's getting it all along there through turn 15 into turn 16, not quite getting the exit to open the DRS, but in the middle of the matter, Ballista will make the move quite comfortably going into North Corner for the 7th time this race. He'll make the move.
Once again on the red.
Wide there. He's gone wide though, and he's kept the position.
Oh, naughty there from the Japanese driver.
I might have to look at both the Yakitori boys at that one.
You're going to have a busy evening and Monday there.
Well, it's for me. These are slam dunk penalties. I'm going to say it out loud because you cannot cut a corner and gain a lasting advantage. I have literally covered this in the race director notes.
Well, he sent it.
Can he hold it this time into the corner?
He does. What a move there! From
what
the
a move from Lakefront.
Yeah, doesn't quite have the traction there, but he will at the inside line. Coming towards turn 7, just about has half a car. But Ballista will have the inside coming towards turn 8
side
now.
by side in Mercedes.
Big break, big
oh my god! Just a bit close.
Keeps the inside line.
Is fighting. This is great to watch. And can he hold it around the inside of the stadium section, or will he?
No. Ballista shutting the door, then shutting it firm on the Indonesian, saying, "Nope, you've had your time. Now it's mine."
All this while, Rohe's skipping up. Great.
He's now 8 seconds in the lead in front of Sato.
And Ballista's lost a heap of time fighting for P3. And I'm not convinced he's gonna have a penalty-free showing at this rate.
And interestingly enough, it seems the
he's cutting
Sato side does not quite have the pace in comparison to
Guys.
Rohe. Both lapping the 126 once.
Fucking track.
Seems as though Mobtron's into the pits now, so he's the first stoppers for this race. He'll come tumbling down the order. Sendra with the fastest lap, that's interesting.
Wow.
He goes wide again.
Sendra going for a move into turn 2.
Looks as though he will. It's a very nice clean move here from
Good
the
move for Sendra.
Japanese-Spanish driver.
One of the 5 Pro AMs we have on the screen.
Yep. And
now, rather.
Certainly showing his pace with the fastest lap of the races so far. Good showing from him. But you were saying beforehand...
What is your guys' opinion on this abusing of practice?
Well, I think it's
very clear.
Yeah, it's against the rules, so it's definitely a unsportsmanlike conduct for me.
Yeah,
it's especially when you're making moves which you get a lasting advantage. We covered this in the notes. Seems like nobody has taken that information on board. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Royce in the pits.
Yep. So Sato will also pit side. Will Ballista box? No, he won't. So Ballista opts to stay out another lap.
Ballista's going for the overcut.
It's hammer time for Ballista now.
And all the top drivers now starting to box here. And I wonder if Ballista's going to run some sort of alternate strategy, because he is on the mediums.
Is he now?
Yes.
Yes, the HUD does confirm he was on the mediums.
Interesting enough, you can see he's in P1 at the moment, started 15th, made 14 places. the combination of his own driver skill and capitalizing off other people's misfortune. Meanwhile, you can see Raven and the two Soteria racing cars battling out for P8. Bit of a train starting to form now between these three drivers. And Raven, of course, will have that double slipstream as well as the DRS on the other two Soteria drivers. And they're going to have to be careful here because they can't get in each other's way on danger of Raven being able to capitalize on both of them. We know Raven has
beautiful scheme on her car.
Yeah, wonder who made it.
Was it you actually?
Yeah, I did create delivery for Raven. It's actually
That's a great level.
I just actually took a swig at Toba's design.
Oh, seems as though the battling between the two Soteria drivers has not benefited them as a result. Raven getting
Raven around the
fault
outside.
here between the two
Hold
drivers,
it.
going around the outside of the Australian driver, and she'll be able to make the
brave.
move stick.
Did she just touch the
about
gravel?
keeping it on. Oh, if
Melissa's
she
in.
did, it was just about.
Melissa's
It's
in.
that's interesting
Oh.
enough. To cut away from the battle for P8, Rohe will assume the net race lead.
Zet meanwhile
Guys.
on second place.
Everyone's cutting turn 1. What is happening? Guys.
But it seems as though Sato has gotten stuck behind Zeth and Gordon, who haven't boxed yet, I believe. Sato having to make that move for position. He's up to the P2 now, but he's 5.8 seconds behind the Jamaican driver, and with only 6 laps remaining, will he be able to make that gap up? He doesn't have
Will
the
that
pace
be-
in person.
And will he go penalty free? Is another question.
That is a good question as well, yes. It seems that Rohe, for the most part, has been able to keep the car on the black stuff for most of the race.
Guys,
meanwhile,
comment-
those-
if something goes wrong, no, just know that I wasn't the one putting the commentators curse on the idle Jamaican.
You're definitely quite mentioning him a while ago.
washing your hands clean of that, eh?
Gotta stay away
Andrew makes a
from
move
trouble.
for P10 against the South African driver there.
Sato's gaining though.
Sato is gaining, yes. I'll have a look at the time in a second.
It'll be nicer for second times.
Ooh, be nice to the second times, but well, limitations of the game. Rohe disposed at a 126.4. I'll keep you informed as to what Sato does. 126.1.
3 times faster. That's not gonna be enough though.
No, it won't be. Meanwhile, Gordon is fighting here for P10 against.
Oh, he's
Sendra.
loose.
As
He's
I
losing
say
it.
that,
Lost it.
He gets it lost there. Motorshot will capitalize that. He goes into P11. Not a great showing from the Brabham drivers at the moment. Gusty in P8, Motorshot in P11. Meanwhile, Miko and Felix are battling out for P4. I don't think either of them stopped yet, so but I don't know if this is for the net race lead or not. But both drivers getting involved with each other. The Filipino against the Singaporean driver, and the Singaporean will have the slipstream, I believe the DRS as well. Which way to go? He goes left at towards the outside here for turn 6. We know this won't work, but it seems as though Felix has been able to make the move before he hits the corner. It's a matter of slowing it down. But he has his run compromise here. Doesn't quite take the appropriate line, and Miko's right on the gearbox of the Singaporean driver. He'll look towards get a better traction, a little bit of slipstream coming in through turn 7 towards turn 8 now. He looks towards the left-hand side. He's going to try and make a move to turn 8. He'll brake, and he'll make the move stick, so he's responding immediately against the Singaporean driver. But Felix isn't going to be taking that line down and go side by side. Miko goes years wide, and Felix still alongside. Wow, both drivers being able to keep it alongside, going through turn 11 into turn 12 now. Felix being able to get in front of the Filipino driver, so he's able to keep that move from turn 6 stuck. But seems as though the Raven. Hang on, what happened to Raven? I think she's retired.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what happened to Raven. So both the Kamei drivers unable to score points here for the second race, unfortunately.
Felix now has dove into the pits.
Yep. So Felix will go into the pits. Miko stays out. I still don't know if Miko's boxed yet or not. We'll have to find out later.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
at the moment the running order is Rohe in P1, P2 is Sato, P3 is Ballista, P4 is Miko, P5 is Gutsy, who makes a move on Lake Bun by the looks of it. Oh, Lake Bun and Gutsy seem to be having a bit of a ding-dong battle at the moment. Yeah, it looks as though Brabham versus Soteria car. You see the quote on the right-hand side of the halo there from Lake Bun. This still makes me laugh every time. But you can see he'll make the move on the Australian driver already through turn 5 into turn 6 now. He'll go a little bit defensive, trying to cut off the Australian driver. Both drivers lock up as they slow the cars down. most part of the course there. You can just see the decal there on the Australian driver. Look at Incender. I wonder if he's going to take advice from that. Seems that he will. He go towards the outside here into turn 8. Round the outside. Will he be able to make it stick? Oh, not quite, unfortunately. The Brabham car not quite able to have grip. Go around the outside of the Superior Racing car. And so Lakeman will be able to keep his position for now. Meanwhile, Felix battling alongside Piper. It seems that Piper seems to have a much racier car in comparison to the Singaporean driver. And Felix getting it all sorts of wrong through there. Not quite the optimal line there. But Piper not able to capitalize, strangely enough. I wonder if he has some sort of damage. Oh, it looks like he's a bit bouncy and a bit squirrely coming through turn 11 into turn 12 now. So it seems that those two drivers are going to be line stone for the most part. Meanwhile, interestingly enough, the gap between Bohei and Sato has dropped down to 4.3 seconds, and the gap between the two Yakitori drivers is now 0.7. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between those two.
Which one is... Where is...
The car behind.
No? Oh my god. I'm lost with their names.
For P3 there, Sato and Ballista going to be fighting.
Here we go.
And the two Yakitori drivers are going to be fighting out alongside each other. Yep, and Rohei's going to be loving this at the moment. They're both going to be trying to fight.
Sato's not going to yield. You know Sato's not going to yield.
No, I don't think he's going to yield now. I think Rohei's too far up the road. Oh, I say that.
Oh my god.
Rohei's made a mistake, I think.
Yeah,
Rohei made a mistake in turn 12, and the gap's now down to 3 seconds, down to 2.8, as we have, I believe, 2 or so laps to go, heading towards lap 14 now. The gap is now down to 2.7 seconds, and the Yakitori drivers are going to be seeing the Jamaican just in front of them. And this has suddenly become a much more interesting race now for the lead of race 2.
Oh, that's an onboard lap of cutting, extending the track.
Oh my god, this is absolutely ridiculous.
The race director in absolute hysterics is going to be chewing out every single driver who's extended turn 1 in this race and the previous race. But we can see Ballista just tucking up alongside. He's probably going to try and make some sort of move here on his teammate and compatriot. Oh, they both trying to find their own lap, own bit of tarmac, sorry, and Ballista will make the move. Very close between the two drivers, and now suddenly it's become very interesting because we know Ballista has the pace, and we can see Rohei is just there. 2.5 seconds is the gap.
Let's not forget. Ballista's got a lap pressure tires.
Ballista does have pressure tires. Yes, that's correct. And I will double check. Ballista also has the faster tires. He's on the mediums.
Oh wow.
The Ballista on the mediums, Rohei on the softs. The gap now to 2.2 seconds, and we know for a fact that the gap, once it hits 2 seconds, the driver will have DRS available to be able to draw alongside the car in front of them. And I wonder if Sato is just going to let off the gas a little bit and let his teammate try and fight for this win here. If not for the championship, then for the constructors. You can see the gap now down to 1.9, and that's crucial.
Just 2 laps remaining.
2 laps to go. Ballista doesn't have DRS this time around. Oh! Here as he goes by.
Oh my god.
I have not seen one lap on board where he hasn't extended turn 1. Wow.
The gap now down to 1.5 seconds, and the onboard Jamaican's going to start to feel the Yakitori car start to breathe down his neck, and he's going to have to try and defend very strongly soon enough. He's as we head towards turn 6 now for the second to last time. Rohei getting a little wrong in comparison to Ballista, and the gap now down to about a second.
Right.
Oh, it's getting very, very close. The rest of the pack has, for the most part, settled down.
The top 3 have absolutely distanced themselves from the rest of the grid.
Yeah, Miko in P4 though is on quite well, and Gusty P5. Why the flag there for the Brabham drivers?
Do you guys happen to know who Sato and Ballista were fighting with when they passed one of the drivers for the podium place?
No, you can check the VOD though, you'll be able to see it.
0.6 seconds now.
0.6 seconds, and we know where the opportunity is going to come, and Rohei will have to defend for his life here as he goes onto the final lap here for basically the gap now down to half a second, and this is going to be very intense. Going through turn 1 now for the final time. We'll be able to use DRS.
Sheesh!
Going incredibly wide here.
God.
It doesn't seem as though that Ballista's opted to use DRS here, but he'll be gaining on the Jamaican driver. half a second is the gap now. It is reducing. We will have the DRS coming through turn 5 now for the final time. Rohe's going to have to pick a line here. Will he go left? Will he go right? Will he go defensive or not? You can see the Yakatori driver
Closing in fast.
gaining. He's going towards the right-hand side. He'll make the move. Last of the leg breakers here.
Oh, not quite
He'll
though.
Jamaican. He'll outbreak the Japanese driver just about, and he'll have the traction coming out of the corner. Is it better?
Surely he's gonna. Ballista's gonna have one more chance, and that's gonna be down the inside, just toward the stadium section. Surely.
No.
Rohe.
He did not.
Doesn't have the opportunity here going through turn 8
he
now.
He just has to get a good exit of this. I think he should be home. He should cover the inside.
Here we go.
Yep, he's. There's gonna be no way through here.
Oh wait, hold on, Royce.
One opportunity here. It's for the race lead. He'll go towards the inside.
Oh!
He nearly gets in front. He nearly runs into the.
Mima Sato is making a move.
Sato will make the move on his teammate there, and he's going to be right behind the Iron Wheel Jamaican there. 1 corner to go, but it's in the Iron Wheel Jamaicans to kill win race 2. Just about.
Rohit takes the win.
Rohit, the Iron Wheel Jamaican, in incredible fashion, will win race 2.
Oh wow!
Strong outing from him.
Wow, what a race that was! Unbelievable.
Miko finishing P4. Garcia finishing P5 just behind him. Lakebun still fighting for that P5 though, so all the battles are not quite done yet. Wow.
Oh my lord.
That was so intense in the final portions of the lap.
Lakebun finishing P5. He seems to be quite happy with himself.
I'm surprised. I'm so much surprised how much Ballista still didn't make the move. He didn't. There was no ounce of aggression on that final lap from him.
Mobitron will finish P9, Felix in P10, Piper 11, Josh Michael 12, 13 is Senja, not a great race from him, P14 is Gordon, P15 is Scope.
There goes Alessio Siri, I think, is it?
Yeah, Alessio will get 16th, I don't think that's any points unfortunately for him.
Guys, that'll be fun to go watch him do a lap and just do a 123 and make a story of what it may have been.
Yeah. Frillia's gotten here a little bit earlier, but non-finishers, Scoop, Raven, G, and Simon did not start.
Race winners here. Rohe is already in Rohe.
Congratulations, Rohe.
How was that? Wow. Describe that last lap, man. How was that last lap for you?
The second to last lap, I made a mistake. I think if I didn't make a mistake, I would have had less pressure because.
What happened to you at the second last lap? Because we were watching the battle for P2 at the time, and we just noticed the gap come down.
Yeah, like that sweeping corner. I think it's like the 5th corner from the start. I don't know what the name is, but
yeah, that like really long.
Really take that one. It's really
tricky.
You go close to the wall and just take the full inside.
I
went too much inside. My right tire went in the grass, so I had to go wide in the sand.
It was great to watch your defense on the last lap as well. And your car positioning, I was yelling on the broadcast to position your car right in the middle going to the stadium section. That's exactly what you did. And Ballista went for a dive just into the stadium.
He went
but he got that. What was your strategy today when you were out front and you saw the gap closing in? Bro, Ballista may have been about a second a lap quicker.
Yeah, I did.
And when you knew he was going to be there, when you knew that he was going to be on you on the last lap, what was your mindset going in? Were you going to defend really, really hard, or were you going to be smart about it?
Yeah, I said that if he didn't catch me on the straight, then I have a chance to defend those corners because
absolutely. I think I think you can agree that turn 4 is one of the turn 4 and then going into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand are basically the only up to this for the start of lap the only overtaking zones, because once you get in the stadium section it's so hard to make a move stick. But surely once you cleared and went into the stadium section after the fast right-hander, you must have thought that this is my win now.
Yeah. When I saw that Ballista came out of that dive, like he thought of it, And when I saw that he backed out, I knew that like Sato would give him a fight.
Did
So
you?
I was a bit
Was there
safe for
ever
those.
was there ever any doubt when Ballista went for that half-hearted dive at the stadium section that he may collide into the back of
No,
you?
no, because I saw that it was too late.
Yeah.
So I had prepared to go a little bit wide if he actually took the dive. But I had a little thought that I would get taken out, but it's Ballista. He wouldn't do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
knowing your
Ballista-
research, knowing your opponent can be
And
very.
that's one thing I actually do want to ask with you. And I think being an ex-racer myself, you obviously treat different people differently, right? If you know someone who is very aggressive behind you, you always leave them a wider berth. But when
Yeah,
you know, but if you know if someone is clean, you can push them wheel to wheel a lot closer. And I think that definitely was going in the back of your mind. Now, listen, well done. You
Thanks.
find that's your first win since season 1. Most
Yeah.
likely, I'd like to say, yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Well deserved win.
And I think this is going to do wonders for your confidence as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this also going to prompt you to get better equipment?
Of course it will. Of course it will.
Surely.
It's just one win, and I was a bit on the lucky side.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing lucky about that because there were a lot of people behind you being naughty to gain the time. So I think you've done a great job, and I think that win was very well deserved, regardless of where you started versus the rest.
Yeah.
It was. I think a lot of drivers would have struggled mentally when you've got someone as aggressive as Sato behind you and someone as fast as Ballista behind you. I think you managed it as good as anyone could have. Especially when you make that defensive move into turn 4, I think that just showed that you had the confidence to hold them off. Yeah, well done today.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations to the Iron Wheel Jamaican.
Yep, victor of race 2. And that is it for the broadcast.
Yes. Yep.
Round 1 of Artito Formula 3. What do you think?
I think that was a great race. Great season opener. And bring on the rest of the season. It's going to be great.
It's a sign of better things to come.
Absolutely. And I think that hopefully the parts we go to next are a bit stricter with corner extending, but we don't talk about that.
Well, we shall see in a week's time. Join us next week where we will be racing at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix and round 2 of the Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship. Will we see more new race victors, or will we see a championship battle start to form between Ballista and some of the new forces that are at play? I think one of those forces, I think, is fair to say, will be Rohei, at least for the early parts of the season. I've been Kindred Garlic. Any final remarks from you two boys?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
It's going to be great, and hopefully I can join next week as well.
Yep.
Yep, certainly. But from all of us here at Artito Racing and from the streamers here, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, and see you next week.
Yep, see you guys. Thank you very much for watching.